50% giggles with Shosha now.
And money. Should I say my thing?
Yeah, come on.
I have two things. They're not related in any way, but they're two things that have happened recently that I was like, how dare you? Actually, the first thing is how dare you. The second thing is, aw. So the first thing is, I tried to book an Uber today.
Yeah.
And it was raining outside.
Yeah.
Thunder, apparently, lightning.
There was,
but I mean, like, to one side.
Yeah.
Why was Uber charging me £40 to come here?
got to be kidding
It cost
me.
me £15 to get home from here.
Be for real.
Why? I said, are you £37?
They're actually taking the piss. They're actually taking the piss. For reference, you live 20 minutes away?
Oh, half an hour away.
Uh-huh.
In the car.
Still.
Route aside.
They're taking the piss if it's £40.
Even, so I don't know why there was a period I wasn't getting it. Maybe it's because back when we were alternating, where we were recording, the Ubers were like £14. Recently it's been like 17, 18. I'm like, okay, inflation. Yeah. £37 because it's raining outside. No. Who do you think you are?
They're telling you jump on the train.
Literally, I said that. I looked at it. I said, I'm jumping on the train. I was on a Zoom with someone and they had said something and I said something catty back. And then I checked the Uber and I was like, £37. And they were like, that's karma. That's what you get for being rude to me. And I said, you know what?
Wow.
I guess I apologise because if this is what karma is, undo it.
Yeah. I'm not here for that.
This is almost 3 times how much I would pay to come. What are you talking about? To get Uber X.
It's actually...
Not even an XL.
No. Or Comfort or Black.
Or Comfort.
Uber Black is a different experience.
Uber with a pet. This is me, just me by myself, and they're saying, yeah, so 37. I said,
it's a joke.
I would rather get on 8 trains.
Yeah. No, it's true. The thing is, there's been times when I've like clicked, I'll go on Uber, I'll see a ridiculous price, then go on Bolt to see another ridiculous price, then go on Free Now, and I'll be like, well, if all of these prices are this bad, it's just me. It's me.
Keep your cab.
I'm the problem, it's me.
Keep your cab. At any time of the night, you can still get home. Whether I need to get 3 buses, 4 buses, I will get to my house.
That's the benefit of living in London. But when you're not in London, because one of our girlies, she lives a little bit outside, and when she misses that train, £8 Uber. Honestly, I couldn't.
Uber's lost its mind. Sorry. I don't know who Uber thinks it is sometimes. But I saw that and I said, that's nuts.
Wild. It's wild. Honestly.
And it had gone up by £10 in the space of like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I do think some of the algorithms is like...
when it's raining, yeah. I'm not 100% they go up when it's raining. But I was like, go up by £5. You've gone up by 20.
Yeah, that's a joke.
This is a £17.99 journey and you're charging me £37.
Yeah.
So that was my first thing where I was like, Uber, sort yourself out. The second thing is, my little cousin started university this week.
I feel very old.
You should.
I feel very old.
You should.
Oh God.
I started university.
Oh my gosh.
11 years ago.
I know.
No, sorry, what am I talking about?
12 years ago.
And
you're 12, 13.
Yeah, 12 years ago for me. Because I'm much younger than you.
Shut up, you idiot.
I'm so much younger than you. And I failed the year. But I started 12 years ago. And I thought I was going to see her before she left. And I messaged her during the week and she was like, I'm going on Friday. And I was like, oh my God. I was so stressed. I was like, as if I was going. I was like, we don't have any stuff.
Like, where's your boxes?
What are we going to do?
Where's your clothes? Where's your books?
I was like, have you packed? She was like, I have a notebook. I said, bitch. I said, bitch, I'm ending this conversation.
I was going to say,
stressed.
I'm assuming she's moving out of London.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm stressed.
I was so stressed. She was like, yeah, I was like, you need 2 sets of bedding. Yeah. Right? You need it. Don't sit here and say, I bought a duvet. You need a quilt cover for that duvet. You need sheets. And you need at least 2 because you need to put one in the wash and have one on the bed.
Yeah.
And she did 0 bedding at the time when I spoke to her. That was on Tuesday. She said she was leaving on Friday. Jesus. And then the next time I spoke to her, she's like, I'm leaving on Saturday. Then on the Saturday, I was like, well, I bet you're in the car right now. Are you excited? She was like, I'm at home. I said, Jill, I don't even have time for you. You're stressing me out like I'm stressed.
You know what? Maybe when we were going to uni, it was a big deal, especially if you're moving out of home. you're literally carrying your whole life. The way
I went on a Sunday.
Did you, I think I went on a Sunday when we drove, and we got there so late. We got there in the evening. These guys, all my hall mates were drunk, and they all carried our stuff into the place.
That's nice.
It was actually very sweet, and that's how when I met like one of my close friends.
That guy.
He was there, and he wasn't the love of my life. But I met one of my closest friends who are friends with to this day, and so literally on the first day, she hugged me because she was like, "Thank God the girl's here."
I remember because it was weird. We were talking about my uncle. So this is my little cousin, and my uncle is her dad, and my uncle also drove me to uni.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh, remember we literally dropped you off and then we left immediately." Like he was like, "Well, there's your stuff." And I was like, "Okay," and he was like, "Bye."
Oh,
and my aunt was crying, I remember, and my sister was there too. My sister would have been like 12 at the time, and she was sort of just like, "So when are you coming home?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
And then she immediately went home and wrote on our bedroom door, "This is my bedroom." Put all my stuff under the bed.
Yeah.
When I came back at Christmas and said, "Who the fuck do you think you are? I had this bedroom before you were born."
Yeah, well,
and you've rearranged the place.
Yeah.
Who do you...
When I came back home, I was like, "Oh, we don't know where to put you now because everyone's got their
What
own
do you mean?
room.
I'm gonna go in my bedroom, which was my bedroom.
Like, we don't know where we don't have a room because like I have my
own
own room.
No, you don't have a room. I always had a room, sis. I always had a room. All of this shit, get it out. No, this is my bedroom.
No, the thing is, I remember...
Some pictures of her friends. I said, take that off my wall. I don't want to see that when I wake up.
The thing is, once you're gone, out of sight, out of mind. You're not
like, it's gone.
So you're done.
It's a wrap.
And also when you're packing, because I remember we took tons of stuff. Like I felt it when I was coming back with all the stuff I brought.
I had more stuff when I was coming back than when I went. Because I was buying stuff the whole time.
Oh really? It was a flip. I had a lot of stuff when we went. Like I bought pots, pans, everything ready. And then when I got back, I had to dump a whole lot of stuff up north.
Yeah, I brought everything back. I was like, oh, I'm not going to be at home for long.
Yeah.
I'm going to move out within like 6 months. So I need all my things.
God.
Psych.
Psych. 10 years later.
You'll be sleeping you'll be wishing you were sleeping out there. But when you finally move out, you'll be like, hey, this costs money.
Yeah, exactly.
I was at home for free.
Yeah.
Why did I even rush?
Why am I changing?
Sure, I love being at home, actually.
Sometimes I do have the feeling like, oh, it's nice to be at home, to be with my family. Sometimes like you just have that person people you can come back home to. But other times I come back to the house in silence and I'm like, thank you, God.
I'm not gonna lie. When I go into my living room, I'm like, Apple, this is all mine.
Yeah, that's a good.
You can't tell me ish. This belongs to me.
You can't move this. You can't move this on this side.
If I move house and I decide I'm not gonna take the stuff, I'm gonna have to sell it or give it away because it's mine.
Yeah.
This is not gonna go to the new owners. It's my things. So yes. So she went on Sunday in the end.
Oh God, thank God.
And so on Monday I messaged her just being like, how was your first night? And she was like, I went clubbing. And I was like, oh my gosh! Like, it's just so funny.
It's really sweet.
Obviously I went to uni at 19. I'd been outside. So when I came here, I was like, why are you guys getting a hype?
Yeah, because it's like, this is the first time I've prayed out.
This club isn't even the best club I've ever been to.
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, drinking? I've been doing that since I was 16.
Yeah, so I had my first drink at university.
Yeah,
I was a late bloomer.
Outside.
I wasn't that outside.
No, you
made it sound like I was wild. I was not wild.
You was wild because I remember before you went to uni,
I vowed not to drink. And I didn't drink for the whole of the first semester, and then they got
Not the first semester.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole of the first year. You're like, at least the first month. Congrats.
No, I was like, I really, like, when you're surrounded by only people that drink, non-stop, the drinks like...
What was it like when you had your first... What was the scenario? You were like, I'm just going to have this, or were people like, drink?
No, I think it was like, I was like, I'm just going to have a drink.
Okay.
And they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, okay, let's play.
Okay, so you had the drink, and then what did it feel like? Did you think,
I
won't do this again?
No, I knew that I've started and I can't.
Oh, you were like, I'm addicted.
No, it wasn't addicted. It was just like, but I think half of it, which I know and I've seen it in my life, like some of it was just like to be social, like to be around.
But you're a massive alcoholic.
I'm not. Am I drinking? You're there drinking some wine.
But you'd bought the wine.
But
you had bought the wine.
Because I was a host. I mean, a really friendly host. You're in my home. I'll offer you a glass of wine.
You are a drunkard.
But I don't drink. I don't drink very often at all. Even apart from when we record, I don't drink. That's why the bottles of wine.
Right, we had that event at your workplace. Do you have a drink?
I had a drink, but
Yeah.
I don't get drunk. I can't.
Nobody said get drunk.
But okay, yes, in a social setting, I drink. I know that people are social smokers. I mean, you can't talk. You'll smoke.
Yeah, I'm on the podcast. First of all,
That
that wasn't your business to share. That wasn't your business to
No,
share.
it wasn't. You just called me a raging alcoholic on a pod.
That was my business to
No,
share.
what?
So I've actually experienced it.
What do I? No.
You slapped me across the face one time.
No, don't lie, because that's never happened. I wouldn't even slap you if I was sober.
That's true. You could
I'll
never.
slap you with my words.
You could never get to me. I'm too fast.
Yeah, my words will get you.
Your words could not.
My shade would.
You're shaking up with me.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
so off
No,
topic.
we're so off topic. But what I'm saying is that
The first time you had a sip, you was addicted.
no, the first time I had a sip, I was just like, it was like it didn't taste great. And the thing is, I may have tasted alcohol before then, like, but you know, like when like your parents would give you like something small. Like my dad used to give us some Guinness every
Yeah,
now and then.
I wouldn't count that.
Yeah.
Mum
No,
used to
that's
do
the
this,
thing.
and I was
And
like,
I
I'm never
used-
going to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Tastes like
It
shit.
wasn't great, but I was just like, at least, like, I'm playing with the game, like playing. It was a drinking game. It was like, I think that's when I started.
Were you trying to impress a boy?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
No. No.
I'm just checking. I'm
No,
just
no.
checking.
No,
Oh
it
my
wasn't that. I think
God.
it was more just to be in a social setting, and I just maybe half of it I wanted to fit in, and half of it was just like, you know what?
I love
I'm
to
not-
drink.
I know it's like I'm not gonna like. It's not gonna kill me to have a drink.
No, it's not.
But
Were you conflicted afterwards when you got home? Were you like, did you feel guilty?
a little bit. Maybe I didn't stand on my morals.
Yeah. Did you have to pray about it?
I don't think I did. I can't remember.
Interesting.
I mean,
it's
I,
so
I,
funny
I
because
probably asked for forgiveness after getting drunk. Not that time, but like many times after that.
yeah, I'm sure. I was talking to someone about this.
Yeah.
Because they were saying, okay, this is off topic, but they were
Yeah.
saying basically that they think it's harder to be a person with no faith and then get faith than it is to be a person who brought up with faith and then lose your faith
Yeah.
and then come back to your faith.
Yeah.
And I was saying that, like, I actually think that religious guilt is a very specific type of guilt that, like, even if you don't think you're the most religious person in the world, it really does hit you sometimes. And I was talking about how when I went to uni in the
Yeah.
first week, like, I kissed a stranger.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I was really agonising about it.
Really?
Like, when I say immediately afterwards, like, on the way home, I was like,
Wow.
what the hell just happened?
Did you think you were gonna get like a kissing disease or something like
No, I just felt so guilty.
that? Wow.
I was like, I'm a prostitute.
oh my god!
And then this
I'm not
guy,
laughing at that.
who was friends with my roommate, who is one of my very dear friends now. So I also met my very dear friend when I went to uni
Yeah.
the first day as well. She was like, this guy who was like trying to move to her even though she had a boyfriend, like messy. But he was like to me, what, did you think he was going to marry the first guy that you kissed? And in the moment I was like, I think I did actually.
Oh, wait, was that your first kiss?
Yeah.
Oh,
I really was like,
okay,
Yeah, I guess even though I at the time didn't consider myself religious, I would just been brought up in the church. I
Yeah.
didn't think of myself as religious. I thought like this is what
Okay,
life is.
yeah.
I thought everybody sort of lived like this.
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah, I have no examples of people in my life who just go outside and kiss random people.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's religious guilt or black guilt. Like this is
A bit of both.
African guilt, whatever it is. I was just like, I'm a prostitute now.
I can't. Yeah.
I'm a prostitute. I didn't kiss anybody else that year.
That's so interesting. I mean, I think it's
Not that you're supposed to be going there to kiss people, but
no.
as in, like, I was just like on guard when I went out. I was like,
That's so
don't even make eye contact with people. What they try and kiss you again?
Yeah.
And then I saw him and the guy that I kissed in a lecture, and my roommate was like, oh, that's that guy. I was like, no.
Ah!
I never spoke to him again.
Was he hot?
He was tall.
Okay.
And he had glasses on, which is very much my type. Tall
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know, to be fair, the one thing I will say,
Why?
he'd kissed 3 girls that night.
So you probably just kissed 2 other girls.
I did not kiss 2 other girls. I was girl number 2. Thank you very much.
Okay.
But that was what I think that was more what I was like, oh my god, not only was I a prostitute, I kissed another prostitute. This man was outside kissing girls. He didn't even ask me to marry him. That's crazy.
This is off topic, but how did that happen? Were you just like dancing and then all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know if he there's no one I was like,
Come on, kiss me.
I want to do this kiss, but he like kissed me and I was like, okay, I guess this is happening.
This boy just
and then
kissing boys.
afterwards, I immediately walked off.
Oh.
I was just like, I have to go. I'm so sorry, I need to go. And then I went to the bathroom and I was like, what? what? And then I found my
That's
roommate
it.
and I was like, we have to go home.
That's it. Well, the what is how I felt when I had my first kiss, but you know, that was that. I was like,
No, I said we have to leave.
oh
We
my
left
gosh.
and I was just, the whole walk home, which was a good 20-30 minute walk, I was like, Liz, I'm gonna die. Liz, what have I done? Oh my goodness, my family, the shame I've brought upon them.
Oh my god.
How will I show my face in the church now? What are you doing? She's too busy preoccupied with this guy who's trying to kiss her all night, who she's been trying to dodge. And I'm being like, no, ignore that. My thing is more serious. She's like, you've already done it. How can I help you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's not wrong in that aspect.
And then he was like, oh, to her, oh, you guys can stay over. Because he wanted her to stay over. I was like, no, we will be going to our houses. We've done enough harlot shit today. I have to protect our honour because no one else is going to. Come along.
I'm so done. Look,
She did then actually go to his house one time without me, so it is what it is. But I protected my honour.
Yeah. I think, don't get me wrong, religious guilt is hard, and it can it hurts people. It can harden you. It can make you feel like
Scared to do stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And like, am I basically the fear of, am I living my life in a certain way, or am I doing certain things just for certain
Will I look
reasons?
back on this and be like,
and
what?
the regrets?
But,
Yeah. And I've seen so many videos of people who are, especially like Christian couples who've been in relationships and they vowed like a vow of abstinence, and then they've broken it. And they've like slept together before they got married, and then the guilt that they feel on top of that, like, oh my goodness, this is a big vow, and they feel guilty, or God's gonna punish me, and like, it's not the case. Like, God is not gonna punish them, but in their hearts and in their heads, like, I've done this horrible thing, and so yeah, I completely get how it can rack your brain, and especially when we've been brought up in the church in terms of like rules and like the consequences of rules, and you know, if you do this, then this will happen. If you don't do this, this will also happen.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of gets into people's head as well. And actually, if you forget about the bigger picture is like God forgives. So, and we make mistakes. We were never born perfect.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is like, you're actually really young. Like like if that hadn't happened and I was now the age that I am, I think I would feel, and I was actively deciding like, oh, I'm going to kiss someone. I want to know what it's like. I'm going to do it. Like, I think I would feel differently, but like, to just be like literally a week out from your house and you're just,
acting wild.
Morals to the wind. Not even morals, because it wasn't immoral. Like, I look back on it now and I do not have any regrets about it.
I'm also going to say, like, you kissing a stranger on the first night.
It wasn't the first night, I said it was the first week.
The first week.
It was actually a Tuesday.
It's March. And you got there Sunday. Please sit down. Please.
I'm lying, it was a birthday.
Literally, this is 48 hours. 48 hours. No, I'm saying like, that was probably marginal in comparison to what other people did.
Oh, 100%.
So like, bigger picture.
100%. I think, actually, I'm lying. I don't think it was the first week. I think it was the second week.
Okay.
Because it was a society night out, and I hadn't joined the society yet in that first week, so it must have been the second week. But yeah, I definitely was like, what the hell? Yeah. I was like,
is this what uni's gonna be like?
I was like, Money, what's going on with you? And I said, stay out of my business, Money. Undo me. Do you know what the worst thing is? Boredom was very much a part of that decision.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
this is boring.
If you think about it, the bigger picture of uni is you go to lectures. I didn't have many contact hours. If I looked at my calendar, I probably had like 10 contact hours out of 40 hours.
100%.
So it's like, what am I doing for the next 30 hours? Read? Okay, yes, of course I'll read. But then, you know, then there's all the socials and the freshers and all that stuff, and that just takes up most of your time. But you know, the drinking culture was big.
I also, when I went to uni, I had no money. Like, student finance was non-existent, basically. Yeah. Remember, my dad sent me money in, like, November. So the first month I was at uni, I'd literally used the money I had in my account from working that summer. Yeah. So I couldn't even get drunk. Yeah. Like, I was the most sober, I think, for my entire time at uni. That was probably the most sober I ever was. Yeah. And, I was like, I don't want to be here. Because if this is what it is, it's either, like, going to events where everybody else is drunk and you're dead sober, or making out with strangers. I would think I'd just rather be at home.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, her going to uni really made me think. So she sent me a Snapchat 'cause she's young. That's how young she is.
Snap.
Some snaps of her night out.
Yeah. How was it?
So there was a video she sent me of this guy who had like a bunch of those like glow stick
Yeah.
things attached to him, and he's like doing the worm, and I was like, ooh.
Ick.
You couldn't pay me to go back to uni actually, because
no, that's the thing.
at uni you're just like, that's that guy who does the worm in the car. As an adult, you're like, oh no,
This is
honey,
horrible.
nobody's gonna sleep with you.
I keep on thinking.
Not
like,
that that's the only thing to strive for in life, but you know that's why he's doing it, to get attention.
Yeah.
So that someone will sleep with him.
When I hear I'm on the tube or I'm on my way home or just out and about and I hear kids, like I know that they're uni kids, like especially there's some like arts colleges and unis like on my routes home, and you can hear yeah, exactly, and you can hear like the difference of like how they talk, and I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I'm not this age. I'm so glad I'm not Gen Z. Like I make that very clear.
Yeah,
like,
very different.
My brother's like on the cusp of like millennial Gen Z kind of behaviour era, and I can tell by some of the things he does that he has some Gen Z tendencies, which me and my sister always kind of like comment on. But you couldn't pay me to be a uni student right now, especially after like the pandemic and everything, because they've been suing the unis so they're trying to get their money back. They had their first year was for some of them. Their first year was halfway through. Second year was in lockdown. Third year, some of them didn't even get a final year because the teachers were on strike. So like they didn't get a complete education, and they had to pay $9,000 a year.
If you're striking for the education, then I support it. If you're striking for the experience, the uni is not actually required to give you the uni experience. That just happens to be what happens when you go to uni. But like, yeah, just looking at my cousin's snap, I was like, oh no. Yeah. I feel like it would have been really hard to go to, like, it happened when it needed to happen, because you didn't have the experiences of like being a 30-year-old. You would have been like, yeah, this is dead actually. I'm going home. Like
Facebook had only just started popping up when we went at university.
My whole thing at
that's
uni,
making me feel very old. Yeah, again.
My whole thing at uni was I was the person who took pictures when we went out.
I know. Do you know, there was a time when I was like, it sounds so random. For work, I was doing this kind of thing, this like initiative, like a back to school initiative, and I thought, I'll get an old picture of when I was at school, because it's kind of like I almost make a joke out of it and just be like, back to school period. And I was looking through my Facebook and I realized I took no pictures. And you and Jessa and Caroline all took. Like, you guys were like,
we documented
pictures. You documented live. Like my Facebook is pictures of. I have pictures, but it's of
tagged pictures
from other people.
Yeah,
and that's a big chunk of like my growing up, and I kind of feel guilty, but I just. I also didn't have money. I didn't have the money for a camera, and I didn't have money for a good phone.
Do you not feel guilty at all? Because I made one of the things when I went to uni, like one of the things that I had, I had already bought it before them, was that I had a camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love my camera, I love taking pictures, like I didn't even mean for it to be my thing, but like, it became my thing, because I was like, again, I'm dead sober at these events.
Yeah.
With nothing else to do, I'm just going to take pictures.
Yeah.
So I would just take pictures, and then when other people would take pictures of me, they'd be ugly as well. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to take
my own pictures, because
do not tag me in that shit.
Yeah.
Also, in the first year, I went to uni with my natural hair as well.
Did you?
Which I wonder if I would do the same now.
I've always had natural hair, so it's been... Oh, actually, no, I had bad wigs. And bad weeds.
I wonder if I'd do the same. I think now...
Would you? But the thing is...
Like, my cousin has braids.
But the thing is...
I've never been a braids girl, so I don't know if I would do braids. I'd probably do the same thing, but I think I'd wear my hair differently.
Really? It's only because over the last, 5 to 10 years, there's been that whole natural hair movement and the whole appreciation.
Yes, I was doing that, we were doing that basically before people...
Oh, yeah, because there's a time when I didn't particularly love my natural hair. Especially when I had the bust down back cornrows that made me look like a boy. It was not even bust down. It was bust sides. Bust up.
No, dude,
It was like adorable, but it just... I didn't think it suited me. And I look at those pictures and I'm like, who's that boy?
Who's that boy?
Who's that boy? La 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 la.
The thing is, you could not have told me back then that I wasn't Ian. I would be like, I ate that.
Yeah, I looked so good.
The look is literally a bum. I'm like, oh, I ate that bum. You could. There was a project at work, came in at work, and the concept was like, what if you could go back? Basically, it's about an artist who becomes convinced that this new artist is actually them in the past,
so
that's somehow like been reborn.
Yeah.
And my boss was talking to one of the execs about it, and he was like, oh, why doesn't, but wouldn't what's the point of it? And I was like, don't you think that if you went back and spoke to yourself 10 years ago and tried to give them advice, they wouldn't want to listen?
Yeah.
And that's like the point of this series, is that he's going back to this kid and being like, don't make the mistakes I made, but that kid's like, yeah, that's you, that's not me.
Yeah.
And I was like, as I said it, I was really thinking about me 10 years ago. If I met me now, I'm like, first of all, you're not me. Second of all, that's you, sis.
Yeah.
I'm not, listen, my life's going to be great. I don't know about you. Then I went back and I was like, listen, the hair, it ain't eating. I'd be like, you're wrong. And also, you're wearing a wig. Bitch. You're bald. You're bald. And I'd be like, no, actually, I have all my hair. Yeah, whatever. You're wearing a wig because you're bald. You're bald. I would have cussed that girl out.
Yeah, because also the wigs before used to be the aunties.
Auntie you're wearing an auntie wig. Actually, I'm not wearing an auntie wig. You're like, yeah, your wig looks good, but it's still a wig. I actually have hair. I'm not like you. I'm not like you. I don't know what happened to you in your life, bald. I don't get it. But me personally, I've got hair, and I'm gonna get it out. You couldn't tell me that my little mini skirts wasn't. You couldn't tell me my outfits didn't eat. You couldn't tell me my shoes didn't eat. You could tell me. I was like, listen, there's nobody here that's better than me. And one thing that I will say about that girl, I'm actually still here because you could not tell me that.
I was going to say some parts of it still sounds quite familiar.
You could, and I'm telling you, so nobody could ever come back from the future and tell me anything because I know I look good.
I think, definitely I know.
So the only thing she can tell me is like, you know that pit in your stomach that you have right now where you're like, I don't fit in here. It's like, you never will. These people are white. They're always going to be white. You're not white. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're thinking that, oh, racial equality. These people are from fucking Scunthorpe. They've never met a black person before. There's nothing you can tell them. You better pack it up now and go to the black uni. Stop wasting your time here.
Would you have gone to Brunel?
Why have Brunel the only black uni? Oh, I would have Coventry doing this.
Would you have gone to Dumont please?
I would have gone to Selas. No, I would have just gone somewhere. I would have gone somewhere else that was more of a mix.
Yeah, I mean, I think about.
I mean, I feel like I would have been me if I had that experience of going to a predominantly white university. Same. But every interaction being tinged with, am I the problem or is it racism? Was so like much of a mindfuck because our school was 50-50 split. Yeah. You're either white or black in my school. Yeah. That's it. There was like 5 Asian girls in our year.
That's it.
And then 75 black girls and 75 white girls.
Yeah. I'll be honest, so at work there was this talk about class and how we can be more inclusive in the industry, which is very interesting. And kind of a weird follow-up from like last week's app. And they were talking about, there's a lot of people, especially from like poorer or disadvantaged backgrounds, trying to get into the industry, and they're facing so many barriers. For instance, like trying to fit in cultures where everyone goes out for a drink on a Friday night, but you don't drink. And one of the women gave the example of like, she grew up in a like Christian household. I was like, I relate. And I didn't drink, but everything was about going for a drink on a Thursday night or Friday night, and not realizing that the drinking culture also meant people had
making
connections and able to progress. Or the whole thing of like, people are getting drinks on a Friday night, but also doing rounds. But I don't have the money because
why am I paying for you guys to get glasses of wine? I'm getting a Coke.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. The person will have like a cranberry juice, and they can't pay for it because this costs money, and I don't have the money. Or like
I get paid the least in this team.
It's lame, yeah. Or I say certain things like butter instead of butter, and so many like different factors that where people, if they're not in a privileged class, they can be disadvantaged to get into the industries, and the stats are high. Like, and I think about it, and some of those factors, if you were doing a checklist, I tick quite a bit of them like growing up.
Yeah.
And I always think about how grateful that I am that the secondary school that I ended up going to, we went to, that's how we knew each other. Because had I stayed And I stayed in the place that I would have had to go to because I got rejected from all my other seats.
Same. No, I did not get. No, sorry.
Yeah.
That's just you.
Yeah, that was just me. Yeah, I got rejected and I had to appeal. And then my sister, they found the acceptance letter on the floor. They're like, they put it on the poof. They're like, oh, you got in. Oh, thank you, sister. I was like, wow. Again, the eldest is.
Shoshana was breaking her back
to
maintain her reputation so her sister could come.
Exactly, but all I know is just like it's very, very hard. And if I really I'm grateful that I went to a mixed school or a mixed race. Diversity.
We went to a girls' school.
We went to girls' school because that also there's another thing to it because I feel like some of that kind of stunted our.
I was talking to someone about.
I was going to say growth in building relationships with men. That's just what
I was talking to someone about this, and
way.
He was like, "I went to a boys' school," and I was like, "I went to a girls' school," and he was like, "I went to a girls' school because my mum said I like boys too much," and it's so funny because I actually think going to a girls' school kind of makes you a hoe. Like, there was a lot of girls in our school who were straight hoes.
There were quite a few.
Sorry, let me rephrase that because you're a child, so you can't really be a hoe, but like, it makes you horny.
Yeah. Because when you are restricted from what it's like when you see a cake and you're like, you can't touch it, it makes you want to go and eat it more. I don't know why that analogy with cake was used, but anyway, what I'm going to say is I'm grateful for the school we went to, even though it was a girls' school. Because it allowed me to meet so many different backgrounds and have so many opportunities just being there, being where the school was located in London. And then, so when I went to university, even though I was grateful for that, it was less pivotal for me versus when I was at secondary school.
Yeah, but I think the problem with our school was that we spent a lot of time in a very mixed in terms of racial identity. I say very mixed. It was literally white, black, and then some Asian people.
Yeah,
actually, small amount of Asian people. Like, there weren't many Muslims in our year.
No,
I think there was one, maybe.
No, yeah.
And one or two.
One that we knew.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, in terms of like hijab wearing, like
very few. But I think because of that and the way that we interact, like I had white friends, I had black friends. It really wasn't. It was never a race thing actually at school.
Yeah, same.
When I went to uni, I just assumed all those white people would be like the white girls in my school.
Yeah, and then you realise.
And if you genuinely meet people who come up to you and be like, you're the first black person I've ever met. What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing.
Don't keep that to yourself.
So, yeah, even...
You're the first northern person I've ever met. I'm not making a big deal about that.
Exactly. Like, when I went on holiday during the summer to Southeast Asia, I knew that this could potentially happen where they see a black person and they want to take a photo. Like, some people. It only happened a few times. No, it did, but...
No, what are you going to say? It's only happened, what? You're like, only happened 8 times.
Yes.
Too many times.
No, I mean, I definitely got some stares. Not as bad as when I went to Italy. Still one of the... Like, I know people are like, oh, what country you're not like interested in going to ever again? Italy. I'm so sorry. The food is incredible. I'll go for the food only, but I cannot stand... Like, I couldn't stand the staring, the racism, the ignorance. It was too much.
That was Croatia for me.
Yeah, I do want to go to Croatia as well.
Croatia was like that for me, but I think... I say this all the time whenever I tell that story. I think
it's the person you went
I think it was the concept of a black woman and an Asian woman.
Yeah, and in Rome, I think is the fact of seeing 2 black women together, which was nuts.
What do you think that we do? What do
you do?
Travel so lonely. Also, it's like, again, that's that thing about growing up in London. Like I didn't think twice about going on holiday with my friend because we've been friends since we was literally like 13 years old. So like nobody and no one has ever blinked an eye. Yeah. And to go to another country and be like, oh, here, there's not that many black people, not that many Asian people, and there's definitely not that many black and Asian people mixing
together.
So this is now a spectacle.
Yeah, and even
maybe we're on some sort of we're in a TV show or something.
Yeah, but even one of our girlies who's married to a white guy and she's mixed race, she said that she got loads of stays in America.
Yeah, she did say that. Yeah. I just think that London is a very special place. Like, honestly, it just is a very special place.
Even though it frustrates me from time to time.
Oh yeah, it has a lot of drawbacks.
It can be in the pits.
It has a lot of drawbacks, but my experience of living in London really made me think this is what the world was. Yeah. And then to go out into the world, you're just like, oh no, we are so lucky, and we're the way that we are because we grew up in this place.
Yes, I agree.
And if we'd grown up somewhere else, we'd be very different black women.
Yeah.
And we'd be very feel differently about mixing. Yeah. But also, like you said, maybe it's just the fact that we went to our school, because there are other black people who grew up in London who have very different experiences of London.
I think about, interesting, like my sister went to the same school that we did, so she had a mix of, well, she was exposed to different races and different ethnicities, also a girls' school. But now, if I ask her, like, who are your close friends, I don't think she could name. Like, it's predominantly black.
Yeah.
She has a more predominantly black experience. Her workplace was predominantly black. Like, all the other teachers she was around, predominantly black. Whereas I've only kept in predominantly white spaces from the time I've left secondary school into university and then into the world of work. That's my world, you know. Which is crazy to think about. Yeah,
it's so interesting. Like, if I hadn't gone to the school that we went to, I was going to go to another school that was predominantly black.
Same.
Where my sister and my cousin actually did go.
Yeah.
And when they talk about their experience of school and then, like, how that affected their identity, it was so, like, celebratory and, like, they had, like, a thing where it was, like a Caribbean week or like an African week. Like they put on all these events, and like we had the Mayfair where you could dress as a country, but like it wasn't specific to like what are the identities of the girls in this school so much as they were like, let's celebrate world identities, and like there's nothing weird about a bunch of white girls dressing up as if they're Chinese. That's fine. Like there was none of that. Like there was no question about that stuff at all. And so they went, having been to that school, I think for them, especially my sister, I think it was like very jarring to go to spaces where it was like she was the minority and everyone was predominantly white, because she was like, this is not the world I grew up in. And then also, if you factor in, you grew up, like I don't know for you, but like I've got 2 mixed race cousins and 2 white aunts, but otherwise my family is completely black. So this is what the world is to me, like majority black people and then 2 white people. And so if you come from a family that's majority black, go to a school that's majority black, it feels like this isn't normal when you go into a space that's predominantly white. You're like, oh,
this is different.
How do I get back to where I was in a different neighborhood and now I'm suddenly in this neighborhood?
I think my whole family is actually my whole core family is predominantly black. I think one of my extended cousins have just married a white person. Actually, no, maybe it's 2. But they're just distant relatives. We have the same surname, as far as I know.
If you Google them, they'll come up.
Yeah, but I always think about it, what if I brought a white person home? Or what if I brought someone that is not black home? It will be such a different shift.
For them.
But
I'll be the same.
But yeah,
I'll be the same because it's my house.
Yeah, I should be the same. And then I will be the same. But I just feel like if your whole family is used to just making black jokes, eating black foods... living black lives
that
matter. No, I'm kidding. But if you're in an environment that is very very kind of monocultural in that sense, and you bring someone that's a completely different culture or different race, because like my sister's partner is a different culture but still black. The difference is marginal. Okay, it's food. Like, oh, you don't eat jollof, but you eat palau. Okay, cool. Bring someone that's like, I don't even eat rice.
Which is actually such a funny thing. Oh, I don't eat rice.
I eat potatoes and mash, like bangers and mash. Like
that's to be fair, we eat potatoes in our house.
We do,
so.
But like, there's a different thing. Like, oh, I don't like my spice level is mild.
Yes, I have a story about this. So my story that perfectly encapsulates this is going full circle, well, semi full circle. My friend, the first friend I made at uni. Became my best friend at uni. And in 3rd year, my sister and my cousins got confirmed. And we were making like a big weekend of it. Like my aunt was throwing a party. So I was like, I'm going home for the weekend. Do you want to come? Because you've never like been to a big African outing. Come to this thing. My aunt's cooking food. There's gonna be bare people there. You can like get a slice of life essentially. and this is a person who, by the way, in the space of the 3 years, I've probably been to her house like 4 times.
Oh, wow.
Like, I would go to her house in the holidays quite a bit. So she's like, like, she would always ask me, like, when am I going to come to your house? When am I going to your house? Okay. Would I say culture shock on both a class and a race level? When I would go to her house, I would sleep in the spare room. When she came to my house, she slept on my bunk bed. With me. My sister was above us. Even that, I could tell she was like, your sister's going to be in the room. I said, there's one room. The first night, we got there and my nan had made corned beef stew.
Yeah.
Which is a staple in our house.
Yeah.
And I had some and she had some. And as we're eating, she's like, can I have a glass of water? I was like, oh yeah. I'm really bad. And then one of my actual massive traits that I need to work on is I never offer people drinks when they come to my house.
Yeah.
Like, I'll offer you food, but I won't even think to get you a glass of water.
I got checked by my dad since then. When he walked in, he said, where's my supermarket? Where's my drink? I said, huh?
I'm so bad for
and
that.
he had never even put his shoes off, taken his shoes off, yeah. Anyway, continue.
So I went and got her a glass of water thinking, normal people drink water sometimes while they're eating. I give her this water, she drains the glass.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, are you okay? She's like, this is spicy.
Was it spicy?
At this point in my life, no.
Okay.
I was like, this is not spicy.
Okay,
She was like, it builds.
Oh, really?
I was like, okay. Well, I've got another glass of water. She's had the water, we've gone to bed. The next day, we go to my aunt's, she's cooking. We're like putting the chairs out, whatever. It's the day of the party now. My aunt is like, has everything's in like buffet style tables.
Yeah.
And she's like, to me, is there anything that's not spicy here? And I was like, yeah, the yam. So my aunt puts the yam on her plate and she's like, obviously you have to have the yam with, you can't have the yam by yourself.
Oh no.
And she's like, oh, you like fish? And my friend's like, yeah, I like fish. She's like, yeah, have this fish as well. She sits down and there's a plate of food. And when I tell you, I don't even think she had one yam. She's like, come on, what's going on here?
Oh my God.
I have to believe that you guys are poisoning. What's going on? Do you have any food that's not spicy? I was like, you can't have the soup.
Yeah, because you
can't have the stew.
Yeah,
you can't have the fish.
Ooh.
The yam has been seasoned.
Yeah.
I can't taste nothing. Like I said, I'm not
so
gonna have the yam because I don't like yam.
Yeah.
Like I just don't like yam. It's not my route of choice.
Yeah.
I have beef with yam because it looks like it's gonna be chits, but it's not. Anyway, she had the yam. And when I was like, do you know what? Leave it. She's like, no, I'm determined. This girl sat there 2 hours. She ate everything on that picture. She was like, the thing is, it tastes good. Yeah. It's just I need to be taking breaks. I need to be drinking drinks. Like it's just too much. Bear in mind, everybody else has wolfed out.
Yeah.
She hadn't even had the rice.
Oh God, no.
Everyone else had wolfed out, and I was like,
I mean, he's got
am I a bad host? Grow up. First of all. Am I a bad host? Because it hadn't even crossed my mind that I would have to be like, guys, we need to make food for her.
Yeah.
She's white, she don't like us. I said, no, she's a trooper.
Oh, no.
We eat together at uni all the time, like we cook together, and I'm never like, this is bland. But I didn't realise that, it's just spice on spice on spice. Like, you're not going to get any respite. Everything is spicy. Yeah. And then my sister was like to her, oh, do you want to try this pepper? It's really not that hot. I was like, Emma. She's like, no, let's see what she's going to... It became a sport. Everybody... Because I feel like that's what was egging her on to finish the plate. Because everyone was like, wow, you're not going to be able to finish that. She's like, I can finish it. I've had a jalapeno before. She dipped it in the shito. She ate it.
In the shito! No!
And
you
then
guys,
I
you're
was
really...
like-
you're trying to finish this girl. You're trying to finish her.
No, because afterwards my family were like, oh, I love her. Because she was just so brave. Like, you jumped right in, you tried it. Like, okay, you didn't eat all the shito, but you ate all the food.
Yeah.
You was like, yeah, thank you for that. I would never try it anymore. But she ate everything on that plate.
It's really interesting.
And my aunt was like, oh, you have to come for every dinner. I said, leave her.
Yeah,
I don't
please.
think her stomach can take it. She's about to go and shit her life out. Because her body was like, what are you doing?
What's going on?
But like, afterwards I was like, right, if I ever brought someone home again, I would prep them a bit more.
Yeah.
I'd prep them just a bit more.
Just
because
a
I
bit,
feel like it was such a
culture shock.
Such a culture shock. Like, she came to my church, like, and my church was a predominantly black church, but I wouldn't even say it was like it's not like wasn't a Baptist church or a spiritual church in any of the way. Like it's a Methodist church. Yeah. But she was like, there's a lot of singing. And the other thing is, my family don't speak English at home. Yeah. So what's happening is we're sitting down and my dad is asking me questions and then I'm turning to her and asking her questions. She responded to me in English, which my dad understands. And then we are conversing and I'm just being a translator to her. No. Or there's full conversations going on.
Yeah, and you have no idea.
She's not privy to it at all. And I didn't think, it was like, why do you even need to know what's going on? But it's like, true, if I went to someone's house and they were just fully having a conversation in another language, I'd be like, this is rude. Yeah. Let me on the convo.
It's hard because you're so insulated. It's just the family way of life. It is just normal. Yeah. You know, the things how you communicate, the inside jokes, all those small things, like the food. Like, I find it hard to imagine bringing anyone home. Not even someone who's on a different culture.
to my cousin who's not listening to this, but if she is, who's having a really, really great time, cannot wait to hear your stories. I know I'm actually, when I hear them through, I'm just going to roll my eyes, but I know that they'll be the most...
living through her.
No, because, like, I didn't have, like, because I'm the oldest of my generation.
Yeah.
I didn't have someone to come back and be like, this happened, what should I do, any of that stuff. And you're right, there's a little part of me that's just like, what are the kids doing now at uni? Like, is it the same as when I was at uni? Or is it, like, different?
I think she hopefully will get a better experience than she has the other versus the other cohorts.
Yeah, I mean, she wore trousers to the club and I was like, different time.
Yeah, different time.
Different time.
The way that you have to be wearing heels, but also, why I say it made me feel very old is because I've seen that your cousin grow up. Your cousin went to the same primary school as I did.
No, not that cousin.
Okay,
they graduated.
Oh, don't do that.
They've graduated.
That made me feel real old. Oh no. Oh no. I've seen them grow up. Yeah, they went to the same primary school as I did.
I've seen them grow up and they are.
Oh,
they graduated.
Wait, so is this the youngest cousin?
Not even my youngest. I have a cousin who's 15. Should we get to what culture news?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
So, it's been a really interesting week in the world of pop culture. I think we have to start with one of the biggest stories that's hit in the British pop culture and comedy world. Channel 4 released a Dispatches documentary on September the 16th about Russell Brand and his treatment towards women over the last
20 years?
20 years, yeah. What was quite interesting is that the day before, on Friday the 15th, there was news that Channel 4 had put this special
It wasn't, it was Thursday.
Was it so the thing happened on Friday?
Yeah, so on Thursday,
yeah.
That somebody had noticed that they, in the Channel 4 programming, Dispatches had a 95-minute slot, which it usually doesn't. And they were like, we've had word that this is about a British comedian.
Yeah.
And some allegations about him. And the internet was in a frenzy trying to guess who it was.
Which is very interesting and eye-opening. And there's a lot of names that may need further investigation.
Yeah. And then on Friday, Russell Brand released a video on his YouTube page saying Dispatches have got in contact with my representatives and I am filming this video to let you know that I absolutely refute any allegations towards me. Every relationship I've ever had with a woman is consensual. But in the video, there's a cut between every relationship I've ever had with a woman is, and then the word consensual.
Oh my god, I couldn't watch his videos. I didn't know that happened.
I saw the video because people had posted, like, if you're going to try and post denial, at least post one where there's not a hard cut between you saying the words consensual. Like, so you're telling me you filmed it how many takes and there wasn't one where you could have you said the whole thing in a convincing way. So, yeah, he posted that on the Friday. And then on the Saturday, Dispatches released the documentary and it's quite harrowing.
Honestly, it's eye-opening, it's sad, it's the women that came forward and told their stories. Some were anonymous, some used actors. But either way, it was very, very, very brave for them to come forward, talk about the experiences they faced, the sexual assault that they also experienced, allegedly at the hands of Russell Brand. I'm saying the word allegedly just for legal reasons, but I was gonna say the word evidence. There's some real clear evidence around these allegations.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think it's crazy that this had happened, but what was also more crazy was that people were like, I'm not surprised. And Twitter or X was so split, which was also crazy as well. But the fact that people were like, oh, I'm not surprised. Oh, well, I always knew. And only now it's come out is what is nuts about it.
Yeah, there was tweets from people who were like, I shared a dressing room with Russell Brand and he never touched me, so these allegations must be false. First of all, I feel like at this point in our lives we must have learned not to go up to bat for someone that you haven't spent 24/7 with.
Yeah.
You could know someone so well who's only ever been nice to you and then find out they did something absolutely depraved. Yeah. And what you don't want to do Alamila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, who got in trouble this week,
that's...
is write letters of support of someone who then is found guilty of rape. Stop.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. And I get it, like, if this was your best friend, are you really just going to turn a blind eye or suddenly release a statement being like, I don't support him, I hope he goes to jail? It must be really tough. But at the same time, you actually don't need to write a letter of support. You don't need to come out and say he never did this. You could have kept your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Not one person was waiting for a statement from you because nobody even knew you didn't share it with him. You could have gone your entire life, minding your own business, coming up to bat for people, and I get it. Yeah, imagine if it was someone you cared about and they were being falsely accused. You don't know if this is false.
Yeah.
You don't actually know. If you could say, like, if you was like, oh, he's been accused of doing X at this specific time, and I know that he didn't because I was with him at this specific time, that's one thing. But you don't know. You didn't know him when he was doing that stuff. You shared a room with him once for 1 week in 2015. You don't know what he was doing in 2007, and you definitely don't know what he was doing in 2020. Don't put yourself in the fire. I just don't get why people love to... I feel like those are just like narcissistic people who want to be involved.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing is like, again, you wouldn't have gone to bat for this guy if these allegations had come out. Like, I've never seen you speak about Russell Brown before in your entire life. And now it's like, me, please. Like, I don't know what is going to happen next. He has been dropped from his agent. And some of his upcoming shows have been cancelled.
has demonetized his channel as well.
So, I mean, definitely in terms of the court of the public opinion, it's kind of clear that people either want to distance themselves away from him or believe that he is guilty. I know that there's some investigations that have been started with BBC and Channel 4 again. And it's so ironic, like BBC's revealing this and everyone's like, well, Channel 4 doesn't want to even release a comment. Because I think there was one part of the documentary was like, we asked Channel 4 for a comment, and then Channel 4 responded and it's like, we can't give a comment at this moment in time. I'm just like, what type of joke is
Channel 4
this?
doesn't actually make dispatches. It's like a production company makes dispatches in the first instance, which is why, like, it's what you want. You don't want a news show that's being produced by a channel that's supposed to cover things about the channel, because that way it never comes out.
Yeah, that is true.
So... but you're right, it's always funny to see something airing on a channel and they're like, the channel said, huh? But you was happy to put it out. You're like, oh, we'll put it on TV, but we don't say nothing. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But what I found really interesting about it, well, two things I found really interesting about it is, I think if anything, getting to the end of the show, end of the dispatches, I just thought, like, early 2000s, like, the fact that we survived growing up in that time is crazy because... the things that were okay to do, like, I remember Peaches and Pixie Geldorf. Like, I remember them being in magazines all the time, stories being about them, like, they were being covered in newspapers, they were being covered in, like, you know, GMTV, like, they were the news. These girls were 16, is what I'm realising now. Like, I was a child myself, so I wasn't probably aware. Like, 16 to me felt very grown up when I was 12.
I mean, I was 16 under, like, but born into a very famous family.
Yeah, of course. But, like, to be a 16-year-old, which, famous or no famous, you have not lived enough of a life to be in a relationship with a 30-year-old. Yeah. And then to be a 30-year-old very proudly gallivanting your 16-year-old girlfriend around town is very weird. Wild. We're in our 30s now. If a friend of ours was like, I've got a 16-year-old, you'd be like, what the hell? Delete my number. I don't want... This will definitely go to court and I do not want to be involved. No. Like, I would lose so much... Our friend was dating someone who was 7 years younger than us. So I was like, is she well? Is she okay? What are you talking to a 23-year-old about? You're 29. What are you talking to that person about? This is embarrassing. Like, the older you get, you look back at each of those ages, you're like, you are so young. Yeah. You are so young. When I was 16, I was incredibly young. When I was 18, I was incredibly young. When I was 25, actually, I was young. Like, you don't have a real understanding of, like, oh, your actions, what your actions are, what lasting ramifications they will have for your mental health, for your life, any of that stuff. And you are in a relationship with a 30-year-old who should know better, who definitely probably does know better.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But is happy to have sex with a child. Sorry, you're a child. Like, I know that legally you're allowed to have... Someone tweeted this and they're like, because people were like, oh, the problem is what he didn't commit a crime because 16 is the legal age to have sex. 16 is the age so that 16-year-olds can have sex with 16-year-olds. Not so 16-year-olds can have sex with 40-year-olds or 30-year-olds or 28-year-olds. That's not why 16 is the legal age. And if it is, we need to refresh that law, because 16, you're a kid. If you still have to go to school when you're 16, you're definitely not old enough to be dating a 30-year-old.
That's so messed up.
When I was at uni, my friend was 20. She was dating a 30-year-old, and we were like, "Ooh, no, honey."
Oh, yeah, I remember. Ooh.
And it was a no. It was a big no. Nobody looked at that and thought, "Wow, really cool, really fresh." We're like, "What is that 30-year-old doing hanging out with a bunch of 21-year-olds?"
Well, I'll be honest. Your mindset is so different at each decade. Like, we are in our early 30s. Like we talked about, if you rewind 10 years, completely different mindset, and still so, I'll be honest, immature. Like, you just don't have a level of maturity to be able to withhold that kind of relationship. And also, if you're 30-year-olds, yeah, what are you doing?
So like I said, I've got a cousin who's just started uni, who's 18. I've got a cousin who's 15, and aside from them telling me about school, the only other thing we talk about is TV.
Yeah,
I can't talk to them about my weird periods or my flat or my job. They don't have a concept of that. So I don't know how you can spin that many conversations out of TV into a long-term relationship. No, I spend time with my cousins for like an hour. I'm like, okay, you guys have to go now.
Yeah. No, I think,
your prefrontal cortex is not developed. Like, everything's just like a weird, goofy convo. Like, it doesn't mean anything. And that's good. You're a kid.
Yeah.
If my 15-year-old cousin was like, I've got 30-year-old...
Huh?
I'm so sorry.
Someone's going to jail.
Someone is going to jail.
Someone has to go to jail.
It's either the person or me for hunting them down. Stay away from my child cousin. Yeah. And when I look at my 15-year-old cousin, like, that's a kid. No, you look like a kid. Yeah. I even looked at... Somebody posted, like, a picture of Peaches Geldof with Noel Fielding, who she was apparently in a relationship with when he was 30. I was like, that's a child. That is a child. Driving around in a limo with a grown-up guy and his grown-up friends, and all his friends was like, oh, that's cool. Not one of you was like, it's weird that there's a 16-year-old in the car with us.
So I'm just trying to look at a photo of her when she was 16. Either way, it's just messed up. Yeah, it's just so sad.
They're kids. They're kids.
So young.
And they're out on the town, going to clubs, drinking, doing drugs, and it's like, this is so cool. It's like, it's really not.
No.
And where are their parents? This is not okay. That all to say, like, I feel like, regardless of whether any of those allegations are true, the fact that Russell Brand thought it was okay to send a car to go pick up his 16-year-old girlfriend from school so that she could come. And apparently the car was sent by the BBC because it's when he was working at Radio 2 at the time. Oh my gosh. Like, you guys have been complicit. The channels have been complicit in the abuse of young women.
Yeah. I think what's also crazy, like, the thing with that BBC and the Radio 2 show, the only reason I knew about that, him being on it, is the whole Satscape thing. And that was the big scandal. Oh, did we not know? There was a wider scandal beyond that, not just with him at the BBC, but just with Russell Brand in general. And the fact that I cannot believe that no one knew. I can't believe that no one knew at the BBC. I can't believe no one knew. I don't think that.
In any of those stories, I feel like my question is never... What never comes into doubt for me is that people didn't know. Yeah. It all comes down to, at that point in time, we collectively as a society was like, this is fine.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also, like, I don't know if you're going to go in your second point, but I don't know if it's going to be the same thing, but I think about the comedy, because when you're watching the documentary, they do cut to many moments where the victims are talking about, the survivors are talking about, you know, some of the things that, you know, Russell would do to them, and they will cut to the joke that he would make on stage about how he treated women, especially in the sexual ways. And it, you know, people would just laugh it off because it's like, it's just a joke. It's just funny.
Comedy was very...
It was always very vulgar. Yeah, very sexualized.
Very vulgar and very demeaning sexually towards women.
Yeah.
And that, at the time, was fine.
Yeah.
Nobody was like, this man is not good at his job. He's not funny. Because even when you listen to these jokes back, they're not even funny.
No, but people be howling.
What's the joke?
Because he's laughing, like, he's joking, like, you know, when you... I'm not even gonna repeat any of them.
Yeah, it's not funny, but like, oh, sorry, I forgot. My point is, yes, it was a completely different. People keep saying it's a completely different time. Oh, I know what I was going to say was my point actually. The excuse of it was a completely different time gets on my nerves because yeah, it was a different time where we apparently thought, we collectively as a society said, what would we rather do? Drag Peaches Geldof and her sister through the mud for being druggies at 16, or call out the fact that grown-up men are taking them to clubs. Oh, we'd rather drag the girls. That is the society that we've grown up in, and if we're being completely honest, it's not different. That's what's really sad. Yeah, nowadays we're calling people out for what they are. That's the only difference. But in terms of the way that we villainize women, that hasn't changed at all. It hasn't changed at all. And the other thing that really bothered me about it was when I was a kid, I read his autobiography, My Bookie Work, when I was at school.
I remember that,
I remember being like, wow, he's really overcome so much because he had a massive drug addiction. And then I've realised in this documentary that he weaponised his addiction by going, oh, well, I can't do drugs anymore, so now I'm addicted to sex. And then calling yourself a sex addict apparently exonerates you or absolves you from any guilt or any wrongness because you're the victim, right? I'm the addict. I'm the one with the problem. You're upset because I choked you, or you're upset because I held you down and made you have sex with me, but I'm the one who's going to cry at the end of this because like I'm so embarrassed because of my addiction. And it just makes me think so much about like, one of the things I really hate is people who weaponize mental illness as a reason to conduct themselves badly and why you then can't call them out. You did something wrong. Your addiction might explain why you did the thing wrong, but you still did something wrong and you should still have to face the consequences for it, addiction or no addiction. If you're a drug addict and you decide to rob a Morrison's to pay for your drugs, you still rob the Morrison's regardless of whether or not you was an addict. You can say, oh, but I did it because I wanted to pay for drugs. I'm sorry you needed to pay for drugs. I'm sorry you're addicted to drugs. But you can't just break the law and then have us all be like, oh, but the addiction, because then what we're saying, oh yeah, go ahead and be addicted then. Apparently you're not ever going to be held accountable for anything you do while you're addicted to something. And it really bothers me because there are lots of people, I feel like that is one of the reasons why there is such a stigma around mental health still to this day, is that people like him will use I have a sex addiction so that when someone else has a sex addiction and hasn't done anything wrong, people are on guard thinking, oh, and you're going to mistreat me and then get away with it because you're the addict and I'm not. Oh, you've got this you're anxious or you're depressed or this or whatever, so that apparently gives you carte blanche access to do what you want to me. And it just isn't. Like my sister was telling me a story about some people that she knows, and that one of the girls had called out this girl that she was dating for basically being abusive, and then that person immediately came out and was like, I was depressed at the time, or I have self-esteem issues, and that's where it's born out of. I don't doubt for a second that that's probably true, but you still made me feel like shit, and you can't negate my feelings or what I experienced because you happen to be experiencing something bad. It's just not right, and it just really irked me because I feel like so basically Russell Brand's platform, he's been out of the mainstream for a while.
Oh yeah, he went more kind of left wing,
right wing. No, it started off left wing and now it's right wing.
Yeah.
And someone was saying he deliberately has built up a persona for himself now, where his fan base is right wing people who love conspiracy theories. So that when something like this happens, he can say, "Oh, the media is concocting a thing against me because I'm speaking truth to power." And he will always have a fan base that support him. Like, that is the trait of a narcissist. And that is a person who's really sat down and said, one of these days, these things I've done are going to catch up with me. And you could argue, oh, well, no, maybe he really believes that stuff. He's a very smart person. He's not stupid. He's not stupid at all. If you've read anything he's ever written, he's incredibly articulate. He's definitely not stupid. So it's not an accident that he started cultivating right-wing interests. This is a person who started off saying he's left-wing and, oh, fuck the government because they're Tories and they don't care about poor people. There's nothing, you don't care about poor people either. How convenient.
I know. And going back to what you're talking about in terms of weaponizing mental health, I think because, and look, in the last 10 years, there's definitely been an increase or more awareness of mental health, and there has been some positive aspects to it in terms of normalizing mental health and understanding how it impacts people. The problem is, and also treatments and how people can have therapy and, you know, find ways to look after their mental health. On the other hand, like you said, people have now weaponized it, given it a name for behavior that, yes, like you said, may be due to a certain mental health condition or mental health illness, but using it as a weapon or using therapy speech or trying to therapize people. And I've just made that word up. But doing all that in a form of manipulation. And I think you see that in the way that Russell Brand behaves. You see it in the way that people have defended him. And it's just sad, the world that we live in. And I was talking about this off the pod, that we don't know what's going to happen to Russell Brand. I know that there's some police investigations have also started to come up now. But I think about how a lot of these stories and a lot of victims only come forward when the person who's responsible has died. And Jimmy Savile, I think, is one of the biggest examples from a media perspective, where a lot of the victims and survivors came out, some for decades had kept this under wraps and only came out once he had passed away. And I'm like, if Russell Brand is guilty, allegedly, like, I want him to be brought to justice, and I want him to serve his time alive, not dead, but alive, and so that the victims and survivors can actually have a glimpse of justice for what they suffered. They will never be able to, you know, reverse what happened, unfortunately, but it will just be amazing to see that justice come to life and be an example to the world out there, to celebrities, comedians, pop culture, you know, basically celebrities, that this behaviour does not stand, and the people that think they can hide from it, it will come to life. Because the thing is, like we said, when there were rumours that Dispatches was coming out with a documentary about someone in the pop world, especially the UK media, and the names and other people's guesses of other talent, I'm not going to name them here. I'm telling you now, Dispatches have got a series ready, because there are people that have been hiding under the covers for a very, very long time, and people know that there's something fishy about them. They know that there is abuse. They know that there is issues and things that have been kind of brushed under the carpet because this person is a big talent. But actually, I think it's time for us to uncover some of these hard truths, some of these serious allegations that have just been put to rest or been turned a blind eye. And so, yeah, it was a sad story, but I'm hoping that there is going to be justice.
Yeah, the last thing I would say about it is that, like, to me, like, these bad apples or these bad actors or whatever people want to refer to these instances as, because everyone would be like, oh, it's a one-off, it's not all the... I feel like the institutions, because what I found, the other thing I found really interesting is the 16-year-old that he was in a relationship with, who came forward on Dispatches, she later got a job working at Channel 4.
Yeah.
And Russell Brand was put forward as a host for something, and somebody made a comment about, like, oh, but we'll have to remove all the women from the set. So this was obviously an open secret.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, like, I think she either said on Dispatches, but maybe people will talk about it afterwards, like, the fact that she felt she couldn't come forward because she thought, because her job would be in jeopardy, not his, really speaks to this industry where, and I can say this as a person who works in this industry, there isn't a HR person in my workplace. Like, there is not someone who works in HR. There are people who deal with our contracts, there are people who do this, but, like, to say, oh, if I had a problem, who would I go to? It's not clear. And that is me working at a company with, like, 25 people. That's interesting. I don't know what the procedures are at the BBC or Channel 4, but for these people to be able to operate in your space, it's not clear, and it is not your priority to create a workspace where people feel safe. Especially not women in your workspace. And as an industry, we really, really, really need to work on that, because you're just leaving people to the wolves, and it is the perfect cesspool for if you're the kind of person who wants to abuse people, because we are not protecting each other when we're out here. Like,
there's no safeguarding at all. Like,
no safeguarding. If my boss did something to me, I'd have to go to another boss who potentially is his best friend, and be like, oh, you did something to me. And who's going to end up being told to leave? Not him. And, I don't want to lose my career. I've got bills to pay. I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got family to provide for. Better just keep it to myself and hope nothing happens. And maybe in 10 years' time when I'm not working there anymore, I'll be able to come forward. And then a bunch of people will tell me, why didn't you come forward at the time? Why didn't you come forward at the time? Because you all worked there. The woman who was like, oh, years later, one of the guys who heard her screaming in the house was like, yeah, I really regret that I didn't come. What the hell?
No, that's messed up.
So you're outside a door. On the other side of the door, you can hear a woman screaming, stop, no, leave me alone, I don't want to have sex with you. And you guys are just still standing there.
It's actually so messed up. Everyone...
And then continue to work with the person.
Yeah. Everyone should be brought to justice. Every single person.
It is absolutely systemic. It is a industry-wide issue.
Honestly.
Like, you can't put him on trial without putting the execs on trial, without putting the commissioners on trial, because you all knew it.
Yeah.
You all knew
All
it.
of you.
Having heard information from a production that was difficult, where I work now, the commissioner knew, the execs knew.
Oh yeah.
And the execs expressed to the commissioners, this isn't. No, it wasn't even that. The writers then expressed to the commissioners that something had gone on. The commissioners had to investigate, and it turned out the writers were the ones who, like, the fact that could happen. Immediately shows you a loophole in your system where there are not people on set, there are not people on productions who are there simply to make sure that things run smoothly and people do not feel bullied or attacked or harassed. We're waiting till post the production and for people to come forward about something that happened to them when they were on production. Does that make sense? No. We had the same thing with the Noel Clark stuff. All these women came forward, and then people were like, "What? Why? They're only coming forward now because." First of all, Noel Clark is not even that famous. What would be the point of me coming forward about this? Second of all, the only reason why I feel safe to come out about it now is because I feel like the cost outweighs the benefit outweighs the cost. I've either retired from working in the industry, or I feel established enough now that you couldn't take my job away from me. I feel like I can come out and say this, and then obviously now it can't be investigated because these are 10 historic charges. So this person doesn't go to jail. And therefore they can start going around telling people, well, I didn't go to jail, so I didn't do nothing. That's not true. That's not true. You just happen to get away with it. And that only happens because this industry is so undergoverned. That, like, every single production, every single channel is a law unto itself. That's all I've got to say about it. We have to do better as an industry.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And that's why I feel very strongly about it. If I met with someone in a nightmare, I'm not going to keep that a secret.
No,
anybody, I'm not going to go around shouting from the rooftops. But if you were to ask me, I would tell you.
Yeah, people need to know.
If you came and said, I want to get reference for this person, I'm going to tell you what the experience of working with them is like. Because it is not right, and it is not okay. And you need to teach people a lesson. If they know that there are consequences for their actions, they'll behave themselves.
No, it's true.
That's why we have law and order.
Honestly, one of the things, being in this industry for almost 10 years, one of the things I always remember is, like, your reputation is everything. My manager, one of my head of departments, always said that, like, your reputation will carry you everywhere. This industry is small. Like, I know people think, oh, you know, TV is big, you know, we see your face on the TV. Not me personally, but this industry is small. If you mess up with one production company in the UK, like, the news will spread.
Yeah, you better hope it's not a big one because they talk to each other.
Oh, they talk, honestly. So yeah, it's been a very sad week. Just to hear that, to hear the response, the backlash, the split in discourse around Rossa Brand, and then other sad things that happen also in the pop culture world is
sad because we don't know these people. They're like,
yeah. I mean, any marriage, any dissolved.
This is a good thing that they break up.
Okay, we don't know, but any delusion of marriage or couple,
not delusion. You're deluded.
Delulu. Any dissolution of marriage is sad, and some of these have been Okay, some of these have felt relentless because like back-to-back stories.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. Like Jeannie
I
Mai.
don't know who that is.
Yeah, I was gonna say you may not know. Jeannie Mai is a she was a host on a talk show in the US called The Real.
Okay.
And she always used to talk about my man, my man. Well, actually no. When she first started the show, she was married to another man, who they were together for a very long time. I think a couple, like over 10 years. But she had always made it clear that she didn't want to have children. She ended up divorcing him, and she met Jeezy, who's some rapper, on the show, like when they were interviewing. And she always had this kind of comments about like she likes black men and she likes dark meat and all that. Yeah.
Was her husband before black or no?
No, he wasn't. He was.
Right.
I think she is from the Asian background. I can't remember which country, and so was her husband.
Yeah.
Her ex-husband, but Jeezy is a rapper, African American. So they got married during the pandemic, and literally a couple of weeks ago, we heard the news that Jeezy filed for divorce after less than 2 years of marriage, which has been a shocker for many people. Some people I was seeing this on TikTok where there were some people that were happy and jubilating about it. Again, we don't know the story. Apparently, he has had. I think he's been married before. He has kids by different different women. So some people just see this as like, well, it's just the way he is. But again, we don't know the story, we don't know the news, but it's just very sad to see that happened, and it also took her by surprise.
I heard
she had no idea
that it had something to do with the fact that that postpartum, because she had a child.
Yeah, she had a child. Yeah. And that was also interesting. As soon as they got married, I think she had a child before they got married, or around the time. Yeah.
That it was that apparently postpartum he was like, you weren't paying attention to me, and so of course Twitter, as it does, because it's literally a bonfire of garbage. Again. Which is a bunch of people on the one side being like, if your wife has postpartum depression, I think that's what her focus should be, not like sucking you off. And then a bunch of men being like, sorry, we was together before you got pregnant, so if you can't juggle both, why did you have the baby? And I said, wow. I don't know who this woman is. I don't know who her partner is. And this conversation, I think, is like deleting more brain cells from me.
Yeah.
I'm going to remove myself. Because here we go, Black Twitter again, resorting to the most basic what you would feel like isn't even up for discussion. Yeah. Apparently is.
Yeah. So it's just very sad to see that happen. The next couple that broke up, which was a big shocker, was Hugh Jackman and his wife Deborah Lee. They've been married for 27 years.
That is a long time.
It's a long time. Like, some people are just growing up.
Literally, that's someone's entire lifetime.
Yeah. So they announced the separation. There wasn't any kind of big reason. They just said that they've amicably split, moving forward with gratitude, love, and kindness. So basically, unconsciously uncoupling. But I don't think they'll ever reveal what happened. But it's just very sad to see, after being together for almost 30 years, just get again another split. Then another one was Tiana Taylor and her husband Iman Shumpert. Yeah. And I think they've been together for like 7 years, married for 7 years and together for 10, I'm guessing. Again, just another shocker. Like, what is going on?
I have heard, I've heard, Twitter claims that they've heard that he had been cheating on her while they were together.
Yeah.
Apparently a blind item, those blind items that come up and it's like, famous person, and then people in the comments are like, it's this person that like she performed a gig and then was very like high and ended up all upset and then couldn't perform, and then afterwards it was because husband had cheated on her, but they decided they were going to get back together because they've got more currency together than apart.
It's not Beyonce and Jay-Z, come on there.
So I mean, I don't know. Again, none of this is all allegedly.
Oh yeah, allegedly, yeah.
And the internet loves to talk, and it's almost it's also likely that this is true. It doesn't really matter. A couple, a family is disbanded.
Yeah.
And if you really rooted for them, like with all of these couples, I'm not gonna be honest, I don't really give a heck. Because I don't... There's no celebrity couple I'm invested in, if I'm being completely honest.
Not anymore now. I think maybe growing up I was. Like...
Justin Timberlake and Britney.
No, I think I was going to say Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston.
I was Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Sorry.
Oh my god, of course you were.
She's my queen.
No, I mean, I was invested in them because I felt it was very sad.
I think...
When they broke up.
I genuinely think the first couple I was ever invested in was...
Will and Jada.
Please. It's... I'm not lying, it's Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake.
Really?
Because they were two people that I actually knew.
Yeah, I know, but I never saw it as a...
When I knew I knew who Jennifer Aniston was before I knew who Brad Pitt was.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
As a child, because I was like, oh, well, Friends is on, and I'm not old enough to watch Brad Pitt films, so I don't know who this guy is. Like, everybody's making a big noise when he does his cameo on Friends, but I don't know who this guy is. Yeah. Other than he used to be fat. That's all I remember. I always remember his episode because it was that he used to be fat, and that was a big deal.
Then he started I Hate Rachel Club.
Yeah. So I think it was Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake, and I remember being actually quite upset when they broke up because like, what's gonna happen to them?
Yeah.
I love them both.
Gosh.
And then Justin Timberlake became black, so that was really great. Actually,
and then went back to being white.
Well,
yeah. But
now he's back in the studio with Timberland, so he can be black again. Woo!
I heard the song he did with Timberland, with Timberland and Nelly Furtado. Not there yet.
Not there yet, but we're gonna get them.
We're gonna get them. We're gonna get the Promiscuous soon.
Do you think his kids are gonna be so confused because they're like, our dad's white and now he's black? He's black. What happened? Because they never knew Justin Timberlake.
It's true. To them, he's just dad.
White dad.
What does that even mean? What does white dad do?
What does it mean? You're right. What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Like, there was a considerable point in my life where I was like, as a black person, you can find black men attractive and Justin Timberlake. And no one will say him.
No, very true. You bring Justin Timberlake round to the house, he will be munching all the spice.
No one's going to say a damn thing. In fact, people are being like, isn't he actually black? And you're like, he just has curly hair.
But are you sure he's not mixed?
He is. He's Jewish. Leave that man alone. He was a person who, it's like, as a black person, you could say, I have a crush on Justin Timberlake, and no one could take your black card away from you.
That is very true. Who has that now?
No one. There's no. Only the people that had it before.
I can think of one. There's this guy. He's an American player. He's called Travis Kelce.
Player of what?
Football. American football. But he's also married to a black woman. But I think a lot of people have said he can come to
Justin Timberlake really fucked it. Not marrying Beyonce when I said.
I think he messed up with Janet Jackson.
I saw them perform, Beyonce and Justin Timberlake perform once, and I was like, the chemistry is out of this world.
You think?
As a child,
you were like, oh yeah.
I said, again, these are just two people I know. So I'm like, they should
be together.
I said, they're both equally beautiful.
And they were very talented.
They're both incredibly talented. Get married and create the most talented family on the... Well, Beyonce did that on her own. She didn't really need Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I couldn't see that. I'm just trying to think who can get the black card. Who can be invited to dinner to have the spicy
dinner?
Yeah, for spicy corned beef.
Spicy corned beef stew. Who am I giving that to? Who's munching crunching?
I feel that there's someone who could.
But I feel like Justin, because the people nowadays, they're trying to be black. Yeah. Justin Timberlake we've adopted you. Yeah. We've decided that you're black. You've not once said this. Yeah. We've said no. You had those high notes. He's one of us.
Yeah. You know what? I'll have a think about it. Maybe next episode I'll come up with a few.
I think it has to be a musician. I think he can't be an actor.
I'm an actor. I feel like... I was going to say the word John Mulaney. You know why? Because I saw him in this Saturday Night Live sketch where he's basically they're doing this church dance or like candy, basically the candy dance, and he's like down with all the black people, and
I have seen.
But I mean, perfectly honest, he was so out of place. Probably not. Pedro Pascal
is not black.
He's not black, but he definitely comes to the cookout.
Yeah, but as Pedro Pascal, he's not coming as like one of the cousins.
No, he'll come as Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, no. Whereas Justin Timberlake's coming as a cousin.
Sorry, something Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
He's not black.
Yes, but he can come. He could come to the.
No, but what
to the
I'm
dinner.
talking about the level of where people will be all in awe. People will be cousin Justin, no one's doing cousin Isaac, cousin Oscar, no one's doing cousin Pedro. They're coming like they are so themselves. Like it's like, oh, you can come.
Then yeah, he has to be a musician who's trying to.
But you're not getting your uncle coming up and being like, your mum.
Yeah.
Did your mum?
Are you sure to ask Isaac?
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Mine's the kilt that he wore last week.
I don't think so. I actually just don't think you can have us. I feel like race has become so much more polarizing now that you can't. You can't have those people anymore. There must be other people from that time that we were like, they're pink.
Yes, pink is a good shout.
I always thought pink was black a little bit.
Yeah, same. I thought she was kind of like mini mixed. Like,
I get 100%.
Yeah.
You could, if
you can tell me.
I've had to Google this several times because I've been like, wait, is it pink?
That's a good shout.
She's not.
Yeah. But anyway,
see the Aguilera sometimes I was like,
maybe, but she's not.
But she was just super tan.
No. But we will continue that convo.
Yeah. We'll build up our roster of our white black family.
Exactly, and then we could have like a dinner.
Pink is a cousin and Justin Timberlake is a cousin.
Also got a fantasy dinner of all our people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do we have any good eggs?
Oh, were there any good eggs?
None. Terrible. Garbage. No, it's not even that. This week has been overwhelmed with bad eggs. So, well, one bad egg in particular. So, hopefully next week we'll have a bunch of good eggs to balance us out.
Yeah. Now we move on to our review of the week.
So this week we are reviewing season 2 of Selling the OC, which is Selling Sunset's slutty sister.
I love that.
It really is.
It is. I love it. Yeah.
It really is, and I think it's solely because there are men.
Yes. Yes. The men bring the drama. The men are a mess.
If you think about it, even in Selling Sunset, the drama comes because what's his name? Jason wants to date every single woman in that place.
Oh my gosh.
And then in selling the OC, you have 3 guys in there. 2 of the guys are married and not dating. There's one of eligible bachelor, and when I tell you, people are climbing over each other to date this guy.
No, but even the other men are a mess.
He hasn't got a single top lip. I looked at him. I said, "This guy has the thinnest lips I've ever seen." I feel like, because his lips are so thin, I actually don't think he's attractive.
Oh my gosh, he doesn't have a lip.
I think you have to have lips to be hot. I'm so sorry.
I think you can...
No, not that thin.
No, yeah.
Not that thin.
Do you know what? The thing is, he's got a good looking head shape and hair.
He looks like, again...
bare minimum, because if you walk down the OC, you'll be seeing tons of him.
He looks like Zachary Quinto to me.
Yeah.
He looks like Zachary Quinto.
Tons of Tylers.
And Zachary Quinto is a TV version of this guy. Like, TV people are the hottest of us.
Yeah.
This is the guy, the true guy, and in the docudrama is Zachary Quinto's playing him. That is who he is. Whenever I see him, I'm like, yeah, you look like the before and after or something. Like, it's just bizarre.
Now you said the thin lips, and now I can't stop looking at it.
They're so thin.
They're tiny.
They're so thin. And these women are
climbing
wet for this man. And I'm like, okay.
And when I say the worst thing is, they were wet for him last season when he was married.
Yes.
When I say I watched this and I was like, vindication to Britney So in this season, I was like,
she made the right decision.
She made the right decision when she divorced him. And don't celebrate divorce.
The phrase, you can't turn a housewife into a hoe, has never been more true.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say about this season is I think this entire season has been orchestrated to remove blame from the adulterers. They've decided to make the whole season about, are Alex Hall and Zach gonna get together?
Yeah.
They have been together.
I mean, Alex Hall and Tyler.
Tyler, sorry. I'm calling him Zach because Zachary Quinto.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. If we say the word Zach, you know who we're talking about.
I'm talking about Tyler. They absolutely hooked up before the series started.
100%. When that episode started, episode 1, and they're talking outside this, again, this is something.
How's your divorce been?
And then he picks her up, and I said,
I
have to
rewind. You've been the best friend to me during. What are you talking about?
When I say I rewind, I had to rewind because I was like, he did not pick that girl up.
When in the season before. When the girlie, which we need to talk about it because the way they villainize the women of colour in this office.
Oh.
is sickening.
Yeah,
like
Kayla, that's the person they would mess. Yeah,
we didn't even see this flirtation happen on screen. By the way, we come back the next episode. Oh, Kayla was all over Tyler. She's trying to fuck. The story escalated between Alex Hall and that British woman who is embarrassing us across the pond. Polly, cut it off. You're 37 years old. Grow up.
Oh, I thought she said 47 at one point.
Yeah, she did say that, and I was like,
the way I had to quickly go and Google, because like, unless the Botox is Botoxing well.
There's no way she's 47. She's 37. It was a joke.
Yeah.
Polly was like, as a woman whose marriage ended because of adultery, the idea that Kayla even would try it on with Tyler is disgusting. Cut to the minute his divorce is announced, you're trying to fuck him in the office.
Oh my gosh.
And then Alex Hall's trying to fuck him at home.
Oh my god.
You two are, and then the mixed race girl,
Brandy
was like, oh, so you two sharing him? I was like, oh, Brandy, you ate with that.
You did, yeah.
This is embarrassing.
It was. Everyone involved is embarrassing. And do you know what's even worse? Alex Hall and Tyler are not even together now.
Of course they're not together.
They were like, we're just friends. I'm like...
Lust be lusting.
Yeah, do me.
Lust be lusting. And sorry, do you guys sell any houses in this franchise?
I think they're even worse than Selling Sunset, because at least with Selling Sunset, we see them close deals and they're shaking that bell. They're shaking it like a tail feather, and we don't see anything. I mean, I don't
shake a bell. You ring a bell. Sorry, my brain was for a second.
I
Can
knew.
I
was waiting for some type of retort. They ring the bell, but I like that when they like shake it.
Like a Polaroid picture, first of all.
Yeah.
Either
way, the bell is ringing and ringing loud. What are you saying?
That's because the women are not apparently distracted by cock. This franchise makes it seem like women watching it, it's like it feels like high school.
Yeah.
It feels exactly like the moment where. And not to out ourselves, but we went to a girls' school and in sixth form, boys are allowed.
Yeah.
And when I tell you the way, on the first day, those men have been hogged.
Oh, already.
People have decided you're in my group because there's so few men.
People
start acting crazy. Yeah. And that is what episode 1 of this season, I said, I've never seen first year people in my life. You guys are in your 40s. What the hell is going on? This can't be me.
Yeah.
I have to be wifed up before them because I can't be a 40-year-old woman lusting after a guy at my workplace, fighting other girlies over him.
No. And
he ain't even that hot. He's got no legs.
Yeah,
He's just tall.
He's tall and he's single and he's like...
Barely. As Brandy said, is the ink dry?
Jesus. Brandy was really... She was giving, even though there was a point during the season where I was like, Brandy, step out of this nonsense. Similar to that girl, the black girl from Selling Sunset.
Yeah. Yes, it was exactly the same issue.
I was like, get out of this issue because it's got nothing to do with you. Let your other colleagues fight between themselves. You're married. You're going through some hard times at this moment. You're going through grief. Focus on that and get out of this nonsense with them. Let them argue, let them fight, because when you had to start apologising to Alex Hall, and when Alex Hall, she was manipulating you and gaslighting you, and it's very clear when Alex Hall is patronising.
No, that whole scene made my blood boil.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest.
And when she's like, when Brandy said, where I'm from, we step to people, I was like, Brandy, just don't.
It wasn't even that. What she said was, Alex Hall was being patronising as always, but she was also gesturing quite a bit with her hands. Yeah, she was like, where I'm from, where people gesture with their hands like that means they want to fight.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Then Alex Hall was like, why are you getting in my face when you're going to hit me? Which is like, again, if you're a white person and you don't understand that weaponizing your tears and the fact that you're scared a black person's going to hit you isn't racist, you're a fucking loser and a joke.
Yeah.
This is Bible at this point.
Yeah.
The rhetoric of a white person trying to make a black person look bad is to act scared, act like your life was in danger. Yeah. She was never going to hit you.
Yeah,
she was never going to hit you. She was saying, what you're doing is the equivalent of what I'm doing right now. And if you don't like this, imagine how I'm trying to explain to you, I don't like what you're doing. So you're telling me, go to Italy. This is how people talk in it. First of all, have you been to Italy? Side note, have American people who claim that they're Italian because a descendant from 200 years ago went on a boat to America make me sick. Sorry, you make me sick. You make me sick. I'm tired of it. We're Italian. You've never been there. Yeah. I've been to Italy more times than you have. I'm more Italian than you have. Just because you make pasta doesn't make you...
Yeah.
If there was a tally of people and how many times they've made pasta, I would be Italian. Give me my citizenship at this point. I am Italian.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. It's also not an excuse for you to act like a prick and then start crying. You decided to weaponize your Italianness, and then when that didn't work, you weaponized your whiteness by crying.
I feel like we watched a show where someone did that and they were like, I'm loud. It was ultimatum queer love. I'm loud because I'm Latina.
Yes.
Yeah. And I must shout and to express myself. I'm like, no. Don't try and give a stereotype to a whole community group when that's not the case.
Give a stereotype if you want. If I respond to that stereotype how I respond, you have to accept it.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to tell me this ain't nothing, I'm Italian, I'm telling you I'm not Italian and it's something to me. So now what?
Yeah. And for context with Brandy, like, because Brandy was very aware that this relationship was building between Alex and Tyler.
She was too aware. I will say this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you go.
To cut you off. What you said about the Chelsea in Selling Sunset is exactly the same. These women, again, I don't know whether the show is trying to build some sort of idea about women of colour, but like who get on a moral high ground about someone else's relationship is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know you and I don't know him and I don't know why I have an opinion on this because I don't care. If you were to come to me and say, do you think what I'm doing is right? I think you're well and entitled to say, me personally, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But where these people are conducting whatever they're conducting in their, not the privacy of their own home, because they're doing it in office, and I get that.
Yeah.
And you're telling them, if I was you, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You are inviting trouble because this person's already shown you that morally they don't have a problem with it.
They don't care.
If they was confused and they asked for your counsel, fair enough. Different. Why are you taking it upon yourself to be moral police? Let me tell you, people are talking about you in the OC. This bitch don't care.
No.
She wants the dick.
Yeah, of course. I wasn't sure. At the beginning I was thinking, oh, maybe Brandy's going in so hard in defense of Kayla, who she's very close with, because like you said,
they made Kayla look like an absolute monster whore.
Yeah.
For apparently talking in a flirting
way to Tyler. Mind you, when you
they
flashback,
all flirt with this guy.
What annoyed me, because when you did the flashback of series 1, where Alex or Polly would be on top of Tyler, sitting on him, to me, when I see, like, if you rewatch season 1, which I didn't bother to do, and I don't know if you did, you realise why Brittany Snow was like, let me get this divorce lawyer quick, and let me finish this guy.
Why don't you have sense?
Yeah. Because this guy...
They're not doing it to the other boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Those other boys have wives as well. And they're not letting girlies sit on their laps or suck their nose. Or...
Yeah, it's just you. Because you think it's acceptable. Mind you, I do have a comment about, I think it's Austin. Because it's not about how he behaves with the other women. It's just him in general. To his wife, actually, more than anything. But I just felt like Brandy was leaning in. I thought it was in defense of Kayla. But Kayla stood her ground.
Oh, Kayla ate this season.
Yeah, she did. The people that kind of won was Kayla and probably Jarvis. But,
yeah, Jarvis also ate this season, sorry.
But, because Jarvis could not care less. But, you know, when Brandy was like, oh, after that little incident with Alex, where she was like, you know, where I come from, people get stepped to. Alex and Brandy have a conversation. You know, Brandy talks about, you know, how things have been hard for her. She starts crying. Alex seems kind of like not really there for it, but she also cries a little bit. They both, Brandy apologizes first, and then Alex kind of does.
Yeah, and also the conversation just comes to maybe we should be friends.
Yeah, that was it. Oh wait, they shouldn't be friends. Yeah, and for me, I was like, Brandy, don't even apologize to this woman. But I know it's to keep the peace, but I was just like...
No, I think what's awkward is so when the season ended, they automatically started playing season 1.
Yeah.
And the first 2 people you see in season 1 are Brandy and Alex Hall.
Yeah.
So I think Alex is upset because she's like, I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised that 1, you've taken this stance, and 2, you're basically acting like I'm a bad person for doing this. Which, fair enough. Maybe that is genuinely in Brandy's morals, that is the case. But I don't know why you care so much. Yeah. Because it's not your man. And it's not really your friend. This is a girlie that you work with. It's not that big a deal.
Because she's not going to mess up your deal. I think they had one deal together. But what Alex does behind closed door has no influence on you.
She was like, oh, people are asking me. One of my buyers called me up and said, what's going on? Is Alex with Tyler? As if...
Come on. Be for real.
As if I'm not buying a house because you work for an agency where someone at the agency is having an affair.
I can't care less.
I don't care.
The only person who's asking you about who's dating who's the producers. Like, let's be real. But yeah.
Or the wife of the person who's cheating.
Yeah, but most importantly, Brittany's phoning you going, oh, is there something going on? Then you can have a thing on your back and be like, the wife called me.
What? It's never that deep.
No.
I think you are allowed to say, if I worked, because it's also not that big an office. If I worked in an office and 2 people were trying to fuck the same one person, I might say, listen guys, I get it. You guys think he's hot. Can we, just for the sake of working together, leave the horniness at home?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to come into the office and catch someone sat on his lap again.
Oh, God.
I think that's fair. You're right. I don't want to have to come to work and have to just hear you do whispering sweet nut things in someone's ear. But in terms of the actual morality of it, it doesn't concern me. It's got nothing to do with me. That's not my man.
No. I think what surprised me the most is that I thought there'd be more beef between Polly and Alex. And they seem to be all body.
No,
that's wild.
Bad energy.
Yeah.
There's bad energy. There was a point where Alex and Tyler are like on their. They go to what's it?
Is it Cabo?
Cabo.
Yeah, Cabo.
And
Mexico,
Alex and what's his name are like
Tyler.
Are to one side.
Yeah.
And Polly's looking around and she sees them and like her face. You can see on her face that she's like, "Fuck." Are they going to get together? Because I was kind of hoping I would get with him.
Oh my God.
And it's, it just gave high school. Me and my friend like the same guy who's going to get there first.
Yeah.
And also, the other reason why it gives high school is because it's quite cliquey. Like, there's a scene where Alex, Austin, Tyler, and Polly have like a dinner party.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious that they think they're the cool kids at work.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be in their crew, and it's like, I'm going to be honest with you. You guys are, it's just giving, you guys are the white people in the office, and you formed a cabal, like, we are the it crowd. And it's like, you're 37.
And they give me the energy that they kind of all peaked at secondary school.
You're 37. Yeah. Would you want to be the popular kids in a brokers where you don't sell any houses?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Does anybody do work here?
No, I mean, I'm assuming Jarvis does. Gio does.
Gio is the only one
Gio
working.
brings the money.
Gio really comes in, apart from his issues with the new girl being like, she ain't gonna last. She.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think he's wrong. The girl.
Why do you care?
Oh yeah, he shouldn't care.
That's why I didn't get. Why do you even care?
Yeah.
She flops. It actually doesn't affect you anyway.
Honestly, because if she flops, she's not gonna sell any houses.
Exactly.
So, and you sell houses like water because your background is selling houses. But he ended up being one of my favourites, even though I think I found him quite annoying in season 1.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I liked him in season 1, but in this season, he sold some houses.
Yeah, he sold houses.
Which
To
is
be honest,
the premise.
he was the most the least problematic person on the card.
There was an episode where I think Jarvis and Polly got into it because basically
the birthday party.
Yeah, Polly was like, I would really like to invite everyone to my party. She was like, and then Jarvis was like, everyone. She was like, yeah, I'm extending the invite to everyone, but you don't like me. Which honestly, that's what I mean. Jarvis ate. Yeah, for real. Why are we even pretending? You don't like me. I'm not coming to. Then she was like, Jarvis, I'm actually trying to be nice here. If you really want to be nice, in this moment where I said you don't like me, say, do you know what? That's not true.
Yeah.
I do like you. Instead, you said I'm trying to be nice, but you didn't say you didn't like me.
Yeah,
so why would I come to a party for a girl that did?
Yeah.
Here comes Polly now. Jarvis, you're the problem. I'm trying to be nice. It's like, but you're not.
I mean, for background, one of the things that happened in this season is that when they were in Cabo, I can't say the word.
Yeah.
When they were in Mexico.
The Americans say Cabo.
But anyway, when they were in Mexico, there was a party
which we didn't
see, and that's the thing that annoys me the most.
That's what I'm saying. All the allegations are hearsay.
Yeah, we don't see anything. And basically, Polly said that Jarvis was grinding on some guy, and Polly has taken a video of her as she was grinding on this guy.
Which, why would you do that? You and I are not friends.
No. And then for context, Jarvis is engaged to be married.
Yes.
So she was like, Jarvis is cheating on her husband, or her husband to be.
Dancing ain't cheating, but we'll get on to that.
Exactly. Well, the way she was like, you're really like backing
I
into
could
him.
have put my entire mouth on his crotch while he's wearing clothes. That's not cheating.
I mean, it's problematic.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying it's not. You would have to explain yourself for sure.
Yeah.
But I didn't kiss him. I didn't have sex with him.
Yeah, but and also Polly said that Jarvis saw her film her, ran up to Polly and snatched the phone off her and forced her to delete the video.
Yeah, because you're not about to try and out me.
Yeah,
bruv.
exactly.
Also, you're my enemy.
Yeah, so
if I was at the club and my enemy was filming me, I'd do the same thing. Why are you filming me?
Exactly.
Because you're not my friend. It's not like you're filming it to send it to me and be like, oh, do you remember last night we got so crazy?
Yeah.
You're obviously filming it, hoping to use this against me.
Yeah.
You don't like me.
Yeah. So basically that was that. Yeah. That even created even further rift between the two of them. And so when Polly's like, I want to invite the whole office to my birthday, Jarvis was like, I'm good.
Also, even before that, Polly and Alex went out for lunch with the new girl.
Oh, yes.
And we're like, don't be friends with Jarvis.
Yes.
The new girls then told Jarvis that they said that. So you're now saying, I want you to go to my wedding. You don't, because literally an hour... Yesterday you were telling that girlie not to be friends with me. Like, make it make sense. I'm going to find out.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh... So anyway, the reason why I brought that bit up is because Jarvis walks out. Then Polly walks out. Then they start on Kayla. So Kayla walks out. Then Kayla says, there's a video of Polly and Tyler making out. Yeah. Then they're like, what video? There's no video. At this point as well, they've already admitted they did it.
Yeah, they kissed in the office.
They tried, their attempt to cover it up flopped so hard. Everybody knows it happened now.
Yeah.
One of the girlies is like, oh, Brandy told me she saw the video. So then everybody gets on Brandy, she packs up her stuff, she leaves. At this point, there was hardly anybody left in the office. Oh, Tyler leaves. Alex leaves. And then everyone's left in Gio's like, what's going on? And then he picks up his stuff and he leaves. I'm like, where are you going? You're not even asking, you're like, I can't be here. No one's here.
If everyone in your office started walking out, what would you do?
I'd probably stay in the office.
Would you? I love that on TikTok there's this thing where it's like testing people's black cards. And this guy will go to his predominantly black office and ask people, if you saw black people running, what would you
run
do?
to?
Yeah, run to which direction? The direction everyone else is running. And I'll be honest, I probably would.
Yeah.
If I saw everyone walking out of the office, I would raise some questions.
This actually happened to me recently.
Oh, really?
A friend of ours and I were walking home and I was like, let's take the scenic route. I want to go past where I used to live because we used to live very close to each other.
Yeah.
And we walk around the corner and where we used to live, there's like a big park. There's just like lots of parks.
Yeah.
And they're not very well lit.
Yeah.
So we're walking along the path to the park because I'm going to hop on the bus. She's going to cross the road and go home. And I hear just like this thunderous sound.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is that? And I shit you not, like 500 teenagers start running towards us. I didn't even... fight or flight, I was going to leave her. I started walking backwards, ready to turn around and then run. And she'd stopped. And they're like, what's going on? I said, what are you stopping for?
Yeah.
They're running and they're running towards us.
You need to...
So whatever is chasing them...
He's going to chase you too. So start running.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Or if they're running to attack someone, you're going to be stood there.
Yeah.
I will be back.
So what were they running to? Away from?
I don't know. I didn't ask any questions.
Yeah.
It was... We walked away. We walked back to where we came from and then walked a long way back to her house. And all of them had then migrated to like over to her side of the road. And I don't know if it's like a fight had happened, fireworks. There's a number of reasons why you might start running. True. But I think just the sheer volume of kids, I was like, that can't be a good thing. Because what is gonna convince 200 people to run?
True. That's true. Yeah. Maybe it's not a black people.
They were all black.
Okay, yeah, I'm running.
Sorry, yeah. Oh, if they're white people, I'd be like, that's got nothing to do with me. That got nothing to do with me.
I think if they were white and young, actually, to be perfectly honest, like I remember like during the pandemic, you will see like people protesting and like a whole bunch of people walking in one direction. You're just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna ride in the complete opposite direction. Yeah. But you're right. If it was black people, I'd be like,
yeah, a group of white people running towards me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but with black people running, I'm gonna run.
We're in danger.
Yeah.
We are in danger.
We must go.
Whoever is chasing you might not be able to tell that I'm not you.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep it stepping. But yeah, so Gio just sitting in the office. It was, and then they're walking out. It was.
Everyone backed up their stuff. Austin, I was like, why are you even leaving?
I'm confused.
You're not even in it.
We need to sell houses. Are you gonna talking about who kissed two?
Yeah, we're leaving because two people who made out are now are doing that gaslighty, deflecting thing to be like, it's not weird that we made out. It's weird that you're spreading the rumor. Well, I'm spreading the rumor because when I first said it to you, you said you didn't do it.
Yeah.
And also, I'm me, Kayla, specifically spreading the rumour because you guys spread a rumour about me that wasn't even true and made me the office villain. So yeah, this is karma.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot, Kayla was down, and I loved seeing her like strength because I think last season she was really beaten down. And
yeah, and I don't. The way they were
low.
coming for her last season, I was like, I really just don't get what she did, and I'm assuming that it must have been so bad that you guys are all getting on her.
And I'm telling you, it's probably nothing.
The way that both of you have kissed this man, not even a year after he has divorced, tells me that you were this close to kissing him just before. And the reason your real issue was Kayla trying to get in there before you guys got a chance to get in there.
I'll be honest, the biggest villain, I know we still have to speak about Jarvis and Rose, but the biggest villain for me this whole season was Tyler. I'm so sorry. Tyler is there. Like, the fact that all this rubbish is happening because of him, and he's just sitting idly by while all these girls are fighting over him with no care in the world. And even the guys pull him up on this. I just felt like he was the true villain. Honestly. But the girls didn't help himself, but he was.
I don't think of him as a villain so much as I was like, he is an object that brings out the worst in people. Apparently.
Yeah, but I think he's proud of that.
He's the most eligible bachelor, according to, I don't know, these two girls who are obsessed with him. Yeah. But that's what I mean. It was just given high school. Like, he's not even that charismatic that you would be like, despite my morals, I want him. I need him. Like, he's given so little.
Yeah, I think. Though maybe towards the end,
you were starting to get seduced.
Not with him, but like, okay, the lover girl in me was being like, oh, maybe there is some flirtation between Alex and Tyler, and maybe this could be a thing. And then they he kind of professed how he cared about her, and I was just like, there's something really icky about this.
I love the lover girl in you.
Yeah,
the optimistic
lover girl.
When he made that declaration in swimming pool, I said, now I understand what this season has been, is that these two have hooked up.
Yeah.
And now you're doing damage control by crafting a love story over the season to try and justify what's happened here, which is that you two have committed adultery.
Oh, yeah.
Or, if you haven't, you have
very close to. Like, the feelings were there.
Cultivated a relationship that is sexual or lustful. There we go. It's lustful, knowing that he had a relationship, and then bullied somebody in the office for even daring to speak to him. And in that sense, yes, he is villainous because he allowed everybody to bully Kayla.
Yeah.
And then it's, everybody leave Polly alone, even though there is proof that I did kiss her when the ink wasn't dry on my divorce. Let's bully, what's her name? I forgot. Brandy, for even trying to suggest that something's been going on, even though something has. You guys made her say, oh, why are you even up? It's not even blah, blah. But you know at that point, you had made out with him. And you were trying to make her seem like she was crazy for it, implying that something was going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's very weird to me. If you want to be a man about town, be a man about town.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is what it felt like this entire season was crafted just to, please don't be mad at Alex Hall or Tyler. They just can't help the fact that they love each other.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No.
I honestly don't care. I don't like either one of these characters. No. And I don't like a single person on this show, apart from, at this point, Jarvis. They're trying to clown Jarvis. Oh, Jarvis has been engaged 6 times. I don't give a heck. That's six engagement rings, baby.
Yeah, she
can pawn and go on a nice holiday.
Yeah, and she did say she's only been engaged like 2 or 3 times.
She's been married 3 times. She said 2 times.
Oh yeah.
She's been married 2 times.
Married 2 times and engaged. So that now 3.
Yeah.
3 engagements. I wish her all the best.
To be married.
Let me check.
She must have got those marriages annulled after a week.
I think she must have been very young. I feel like similar to like the new girl, like from the South, Christian values. I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
I think she got married when she was quite young.
But Christian values allowing divorce.
No.
And remarriage and divorce again.
So she's 33.
Jarvis, we need to. This is what I mean. Stop focusing on Alex Hall and
storyline.
Jarvis is the person we need to unpack.
Because I'm so intrigued to know. Wait.
Then she's got Rose walking around being like, yeah, she only dates 50-year-old men. She's a gold digger.
Huh?
Then Polly was saying, not Polly. Austin was saying, I went to a party and Jarvis was there, and there was only old men there.
She's engaged 3 times. One of her ex-husband is Michael French, who she married in 2015 but divorced in 2018. So
I graduated in 2014, so she would have been 24.
Jesus. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I feel like she
married
probably
divorce
got
and married divorce again.
Third time's a try.
She's funny as hell.
But by God's grace, she actually, this one lost. But I just think,
remember when she was like, I'm a big fan of water.
Jesus.
That was
wild.
Crazy.
Because that's when I started to get worried, because like all these girls are looking like really skinny.
They're all so gone.
Can I also just
not
say,
one ass.
No,
there's
one.
17 of you in this. Not one person has an ass. This is crazy. Then people be like, "Girl, you look so good."
Nothing.
Please, I just say.
I was thinking the way they filmed the series, like everyone looked so crisp. Like the screen was so crisp and so clear. Like I don't know what it was. Everyone just looked. Even Polly, however horrible she was on the inside, she looked so beautiful.
No, I will say one thing about. I think, but all the people are really attractive.
The makeup
Yeah.
The makeup really did.
The thing about Polly is she is 2 years away from looking like a wicked witch.
Yeah.
Like she can't help it. It's her British genes. She's not gonna age well.
She needs to stop putting Botox in.
She's not gonna age well. She can't help that. You know, she can't help it. I think her personality-wise, she seems like a laugh and a fun person to have in the workplace. Unless she's trying to kiss your boyfriend, in which case that's probably not great. But I can see the sort of local high street version of her that grew up on your estate, and she don't look good at 40.
No.
She won't look good at 40. Also, I don't know. I can't get over the way that maybe it's a white thing, maybe it's an American thing, I don't know. But they are obsessed with tits and no arse.
But that's very,
where is
that's
the
very
hourglass? Where's
that's
the
very
balance?
90s. But that's, I don't know. Maybe
where they're like, Alex, your tits, Alex, your tits, Alex, your tits. I'm like, yes, we get it. Alex has tits, but when you zoom the camera out and you see the full outfit, come on now. Couldn't even wear those pants with butt pants in them.
No.
Give us a bit of shape.
I mean, I think maybe there's still parts of.
Alex is pretty though.
Alex is
really pretty.
She's really pretty.
I think they're all really pretty.
They are really. Brandy's gorgeous. Like they're all really pretty, and I think they look a little bit less plastic than the girls from Selling Sunset. But still, I don't know. It was too much. Yeah.
I feel really bad saying this. Looks like she used to do porn. Like there's a specific sketch.
She dresses interesting in this.
There's a specific sketch from SNL where like the whole point of the sketch is like these two women who don't do porn anymore are trying to advertise like Mo and Shandon, and like they have this very dead-eyed expression, which she has. She has this like very dead-eyed expression. Like I can't describe it. There's just something very like I used to do porn in the valley and now I sell houses, which is fine. Like I live. Do what you need to do. Yeah. Do what you want to do. I think she has a good body as well. Like
I think
she probably has the most balanced figure of all the girlies on the show. So it's not that. I'm not trying to imply like, oh, it's about the way she looks. I just think there's something very like ex-porn story about her. Maybe it's the way she dresses.
Yeah, I think it's the dress more than anything. It always feels a little bit on the side of inappropriate.
Tacky.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit tacky.
Well, I mean, what happened with her and Jarvis? Because that's part of the storyline. I kind of lost.
The Rose Jarvis stuff was basically, it felt like they were undoing the stuff they set up in the first season, which is like these two people are thick as thieves in each other's pockets. And then the season they were like, we don't really know each other. Jesus. And then Jarvis was like, Rose is a bit scandalous.
Yeah.
That she's a bit sexual in the way that she speaks, and I'm not like that, right? So that's a grievance. It's not a grievance to fight over, but like that is just one thing. And also, I want to start selling stuff on my own. Okay. That was then blown out of proportion because all those people in the office hate them, so they're like, yeah. So Jarvis was saying that you're a fat bitch, and blah blah blah, and then they're going to Jarvis, but like, Rose said you could never sell a house without her. You're ugly. You're stupid. Like it was just getting out of hand. But then privately, it also seemed like Rose was saying stuff about Jarvis's fiance.
Yeah.
And then later on, what you find out is that Rose's issue with Jarvis's fiance is that she thinks that Jarvis was introducing her fiance to their client so her fiance could get them to invest in his business. Jarvis's version of the story was her fiance already knew the client before they sold him the house, And so that was a relationship that she wasn't a part of. And Rose is like, I don't believe you. She's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And then I'll be like, yeah, walk away. Walking away means you're guilty. No, walking away means I'm not going to keep having the same conversation with you. If you are saying that you believe this one thing and I'm telling you that's not true, I'm not going to keep going on with you. Yeah. Okay? Also, Jarvis is... I don't think Jarvis had blonde hair in season 1.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think she did, because I remember like the blonde feels new.
Is she blonde? Is she... Yeah, no, she had dark hair in season 1.
Yeah, she had dark hair.
It was all very different. She had like a ponytail on this. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting because that part of the storyline I started to lose. Like,
I mean, the blonde effect feels like just the Selling Sunset effect, the OC Selling Sunset effect, which you need to have blonde hair in order to work at this agency. But
and then they brought another girl who was also named Alex.
Yeah,
I think also with blonde hair.
Then there was a drama about when we went to Cabo, it turned out that Alex Jarvis's name is actually Rachel. Who cares? Who cares?
No one cares.
We've got a friend whose first name, who doesn't go by her first name.
No.
So does that mean, they were like, why can't she just be who she really is? Like, she's so fake. Oh my gosh. You don't, just say you don't like the girl.
Yeah.
Just say you don't like the girl.
To me, it's just...
You're just trying to manufacture reasons to not like her and reasons to have beef with her. And if I'm being honest, I would be the same as her, because I'm not coming into office to beef you, and you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I actually just want to come and sell houses.
Like, and if you start with me, you're going to get it, because I need to set an example. If another one of you thinks you're going to make up a story to try and come and fight me, you're not going to like it. And you're going to get both barrels. Leave me alone.
What's kind of scary, because I know, like, with Selling Sunset, I always felt like there are some real estate agents in that firm, but a good chunk of them are there for the show. Whereas in Selling the OC, I think that is more of a real life estate agents, or realtor, where they sell houses, and then because of the success of Selling Sunset, then they started to film there. My thing is, when the cameras are gone, how are you working with these people on a day-to-day? I couldn't do it.
I bet you they have it so that they're not in the office until they need to shoot.
I mean, I hope
like,
so.
sell your houses in your own time, work from home, whatever it is, but we can't have people being in the office, because then we're losing valuable drama.
Yeah.
Or they're doing the thing that, like, Love is Blind is, where you're just filming constantly. Yeah,
but in the same breath, it's just like...
There's no off-season.
Yeah, but I mean, they'll film for different seasons, but I just think it's nuts that these are people that you call colleagues. And not in the, like, Real Housewives, this is my colleague type of thing. It's like, no, this is my colleague that I actually work with on a day-to-day, my 9 to 5. It's just ridiculous. The last person I actually wanted to talk about was Austin. Because, Austin was one of the other guys. He's married to his wife. They have 2 kids, and she wants to have a third. And he's not down for it because, like, kids are expensive. And you know, all that type of things. And when they're in Cabo, he really goes all the way out. He gets really, really drunk. And I think he also invites the wife to Cabo.
He doesn't.
Oh no, they go for a trip, don't they? They go to Mexico again.
No.
Okay. So for her, I think it's okay. For her birthday, or was it his birthday? I thought it was a celebration of those. She said that she wants to do date night.
Yeah.
So they go to a bar for date night. This guy is already he's hungover, like heavily hungover, and she's like, "So you drank with all your friends, all your colleagues, over the last week when you were in Cabo, but now for our date night you're not going to drink." And he's like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm really hungover." Over the course of the conversation and over the course of the date, he then says, "Oh, well, Jason wants to open an Oppenheim group in Cabo, and I've put my name down because I think that I would want to do it." And what annoyed me the most in that conversation is the fact that the wife felt so like an afterthought. Like, there was no consultation. Like, actually, what do we want to do for our family? He was just like, "Yeah, I remember you saying that you liked Mexico, so I've put my name down. You know, I'll live bi-coastally or between America and Mexico, and, you know, that'll be that." and I just felt like the men on this season are not painted in a good light, even the ones that are married.
It's weird. I don't feel sorry for the wife at all.
Yeah.
No, I think she's really annoying. I don't like her. I don't know what it is. I think it's the combination of her saying she wants more kids right after he says, this is really difficult, isn't it, raising kids? Like, they're expensive. You don't work as well. Let's bear that in mind. You don't work. So his entire salary has to cover...
That one, yeah.
...all of your living needs and the care of your children who are about to go to nursery.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to have another kid. Yeah. Oh, well... And then when he's like, well, we have to wait up, we could always borrow money from my mum. Are you not embarrassed?
Yeah. He's the one who's like, I cannot borrow. Oh no, she said you have to borrow the mum.
She said we can always borrow money from my parents. What? Unless your mum is the bank, I don't know how we're gonna be able to continuously borrow money from her. That's a one-off thing, surely. Yeah. How can people? Are there people out there who are just borrowing money from their parents every month?
There probably are. To get a bit of an allowance.
No, that's allowance is different. I'm saying, are you borrowing? Are you saying, we'll pay you this money back every month, knowing full well that you guys cannot cover your expenses? So when she said that, I was like, to be honest, I feel like these two people, the problem is that you come from very different worlds with very different attitudes to money. Yeah. So when he said that thing about cover, I was like, oh yeah, that's annoying. Like, it's annoying he didn't speak to her about it first, but like, her reservations being... I don't want to move was a bit like, okay, but you aren't having to uproot anything because you don't work and our kids are young enough that they can go to nursery in Mexico. Obviously I should have spoken to you about this first. You're right. I should have spoken to you about this first. But your reservations are stupid.
I think I can't remember what the reservations she did have.
We just moved to that. She said her reservations, so they just moved to the OC.
Yeah. I think my only frustration was after seeing how the season was playing out and how the men were portrayed by Gio, it just felt like the men, especially in this setting of the Oppenheim group, like going to Mexico, living it all out, partying with all the girls, it just feels like the wife is left at home. Look, she was a bit annoying, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like the dynamic, the balance between them was just odd. I don't know. I really didn't find it that odd. I found her. I don't know if it's the way that it's portrayed. Maybe the storyline got me, like the way that they presented it was like it worked on me. But like even her being like, "Wait, you went to Cabo and your drink is tonight. You don't want to drink a date night." Sorry, am I not allowed to drink when I'm not with you? No, but the guy was hammered. Like,
what does it matter?
So
what does it matter? I'm on holiday.
Would you want to go on a date where the guy is like?
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why are we going to date night when you know I've been on a holiday with my work colleagues?
That's why, because I think it was a birthday. I think it was a special occasion.
She said date night. She never said it was her birthday. She never said that.
She's not. You've watched this more recently.
She never said it was her birthday. Her issue was, oh, you're going to drink with your friends so you can't drink with me.
I don't know.
Any other night, sure. I'm saying all I've done this week... or this weekend is drink back to back. I want to have a glass of water and then you're getting aggy with me. You want your husband to be drunk. Is that not weird?
I think like,
I would rather, maybe it's just me, you drink water. Yeah. If it was a case where you're telling me I have to drink water, we would have a problem. Yeah. But if you're saying I can get as drunk as I want and you're just going to take it easy, I'm not fast.
Yeah.
Because you could then take me home at the end of this.
That's true. I think
I don't get to go out. I spend a lot of time with my kids. All I know is I want to get drunk tonight. Yeah. It's not by force that you must drink measure for measure, the same thing that why would we do that? We're not even the same build.
I think for me, it was just that conversation. It just, the vibes felt off. Like I'm happy to rewatch that scene again, but it's just, I remember feeling like something is very odd. I hope that they, like, whatever happens, if he ends up going to Cabo or if they end up staying.
He's not going to Cabo because he's not even their top seller. Why would he be the person to get the job?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I thought they would beg Gio to come, but
I've not seen Austin sell a single house.
I haven't seen good majority of them sell any houses.
I've not seen Austin sell a single house. So, he's not going to fucking Cabo. It's fine.
I mean, but if they have selling Cabo as the next spin-off, they probably will need some characters. So Austin will seem like he'll be a decent character. But he's not
even that interesting.
I just hope that he protects his marriage, basically.
I don't think weirdly, I actually don't feel in any way that, like, unlike Tyler, no, basically it's only Tyler who's doing that. I don't get the impression that he's flirting in the same way that Tyler was flirting with those girls when he was married. His wife is gorgeous. I don't really see him being like, oh no, I must be with one of these girlies at work when he's got like a lovely wife at home.
But so was Brittany Snow. She was beautiful.
I know, but she has a job that's probably quite full on. Like, these people probably didn't see each other that much. Yeah. This woman is just at home 24/7. Like, what's the problem? I also think, I mean, I don't get the impression that he's got a wandering eye or any of that. Because like he said, I don't know if you remember this, but he said, like, when we first started dating, we were bi-coastal because I was a model. Like, and you're right. It's very different to doing that, to being married and having a kid, which he said, you're right. I'm not trying to say it's the same, but I'm saying we've done this before, we can figure it out. The issue wasn't, oh, my fear is that you're going to be out there kissing girls or whatever. I think it's obviously like, I just don't want to be without you. Like, I don't want you to be somewhere and I'm somewhere else. But I don't get the impression that there's any fear on either one of their parts that they think the other is going to cheat. I get the impression that it's like, you should hang out with me. Yeah. Which is fine. But I'm sure he does. Like, I think the other thing is the show, I'm so sure that the show probably was like, don't talk to your wife about the cabo thing. Wait till you're at this drink and do it here. Like, I don't know how you could function as a couple if every single big conversation you ever had, you had on screen after the fact. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's just I just didn't buy what they were trying to set up, which was that he's a terrible husband and she's a demanding wife. I just got the impression that like they both kind of suck. Because they got married, they probably got married very young, and they had kids very young. Yeah. And he came from a background where he didn't have money all the time, so it's something that worries him. Yeah. And she came from a background where she had loads of money, so it doesn't worry her. Yeah.
Well, that was the one thing that just stuck out to me. But you're right. Austin wasn't the biggest story this season.
Wasn't even the biggest story last season.
He's a good fluffer. It's like a good filler.
They really put this Tyler guy on the pedestal and he's not even the fittest guy in the place. Austin is much fitter than he is. He's actually physically fitter as well.
Yeah, no, his body is...
He used to be a model. What are we doing? You guys are fighting over Tyler was a person who is a model in the office. Anyway, sorry Tyler, I don't wanna harsh your vibe. Get the girls where you can get the girls.
Get them out. Don't get girls, but not in the office. But
why would they not? Jason set the standard.
I know.
It's so messy. Nobody in my office is dating anyone in my office. No. Although, my colleague and I have speculations. I've decided that there are two people that I would like to be in a relationship, and then he said there are two that he thinks someone else has a crush on that person. And then when we went for drinks, I asked the person, they would tell her a story about Halloween, like, at Halloween I went as this and my girlfriend went as this. And I was like, oh, but girlfriend white? And he said, yeah, she was white. And I was like, this is ruining my plan.
Wait, okay, let's talk about this.
When are the people of colour going to not band together?
Oh my God, I'm so intrigued.
This is ACS. You guys are ruining it.
I think I know who you're talking about. Anyway, we're going to move on to ratings. Yeah. How would you rate this season?
2, bruv.
Yeah, I'll give it the same. I was going to do 2.5.
No, actually, no. I'm going to give it 2.5 for Jarvis and Kayla eating them girls up. Because when they ate those girls up, it's very rare I'm watching the show, I'm like, oh no, she ate. Yeah. And they were eating them girls. Potty was stuttering. Yeah. You were stuttering because she got you together. She used to be a lawyer, hun. Yeah. You're not about to confuse and bamboozle her. Yeah. She said, I'm going to finish my point. Yeah. And then you can speak. Yeah. And Kayla said, do you want to see the footage? And they said...
Yeah.
Kayla, you're crazy!
Yeah. Like we said off the pod, we just need to see all these allegations come to life on the show. None of this behind the scenes, none of this, there was a video, there was an image, there was a photo, there was a party. Like, the production needs to get the cameras everywhere. I don't know what's going on.
On Selling Sunset. This was the problem with the last season because they lost Christine. Because all of the evidence was on screen. Yeah. When they lost Christine, that's something where they're like, 4 years ago, at a party, you did cocaine.
Like, what?
Like, there's no proof.
No proof. So yeah.
And you truly can't just go around making up accusations about people with no proof. Yeah. Honey, I'm trying to imagine working in an office where people will turn, you did cocaine.
Huh?
Did I?
This is when you need HR. It's when you need HR.
That workplace needs HR.
Oh yeah, because you can never see them around.
Some people need disciplining.
Oh, 100%. Just show them the whole of the season.
Also, imagine working at a workplace where people walk out every day. How is this place functioning? I'm trying to imagine I was at work, I had a bunch of meetings and I said, you know what, no, I'm going home. I can't deal with this.
Yeah, I don't know. It has to be for TV. I can't, you know. But,
what are we doing next week?
Next week we're doing the Changeling on...
No, don't. Do you know what is so funny? It's because other people in the office were talking about it and they said, oh, the Changeling. And I was like... Sorry, did you guys not do English? What's going on?
I'm actually struggling with the vowel, and then the vowels, the NG sound. Changeling.
Yeah, the Changeling.
Which is on Apple TV Plus.
Which is a play that we did at school, by the way. The Changeling.
This
is why
I
PSA.
wasn't in that class.
Lads, get close to the speakers for this. I really do want to say PSA. The kids don't know how to read. The kids don't know how to read. It is baffling to me. I'm tutoring a 15 and a 16-year-old right now, and they can't fucking read.
They were brought up on Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok.
Be for real. They went to school as well.
They went to school, but really and truly, everything's visual.
We need to bring back the Magic Key series because some people did not finish Key Stage 2 reading, let alone move to Key Stage 3 and then get a GCSE. That sound like my grandma. GCSE. Girlies, you gotta learn to read. Yeah. Read every day. Even if it's not out loud, read to yourself in your bed before you go to sleep. The girls can't fucking read. No. There's a great Azealia Banks quote video which I think we should put on the TikTok that accompanies this audio. The girls can't read. And it needs to be sorted out. I want the girls to read.
I think we all want the girls to read. Read men. Don't read each other.
Read a damn book about read men. Every day read this person, read that person. No, read a book. And that's all I got to say on that.
Oh my goodness. Well,
the next generation not going to know how to write next.
No.
Can't read, can't fucking write.
They don't need to count because, there's calculators on the phone. They don't need to write because they're texting.
You have to write words on text, don't you?
But you just you can speak to text of
voice
notes. Yeah. So basically,
but I feel like if you can't write, you can't really talk. That's what I don't get. Writing is talking. So if you can't talk,
but there's some people that don't know how to read, and they still talk.
How do I learn to talk?
By listening.
You would know.
So how dare you? I know how to read.
No, I say you would know. You're a linguist.
Oh, so crap.
Every day, getting hot. People need to relax. See, she wouldn't let me finish my comment, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Jumping to conclusions because you can't read.
Oh my god, I absolutely hate you.
Jumping to conclusions because you can't read.
How I can read you day and night, okay? That's what I'm going to say. This has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Marnie.
Bye guys, and
Bye.
keep on reading. Bye.
Read a book.